What's been happening?
Just my regular artist has got computer trouble, so I won't be getting any new pages off him in the next couple of days. So I've just been hitting up a few freelance artists trying to get some pinup work.
Oh, you said that yesterday. That's right.
Yeah, so I'm just the goal is to have enough material and pinups and character pieces and stuff to get people interested during the sign up period. You know, like that pre-launch time where everybody's signing up with their emails, which is such a broken system because you've got to sign up and then you've got to go to your email and you've got to click confirm. And I reckon there's probably half the people don't even bother to go back and do that.
I've forgotten to do it 4 times, I think.
Yeah.
And then you don't do it. You think you do it through Indiegogo. Yeah, confirm, all good. Yeah. And then it's like, ooh, yeah.
If you're someone like me who's got a few browsers, so the default browser, I don't know, my computer keeps defaulting that all for Microsoft Edge, but I'm not signed into Indiegogo there. I'm signed into Indiegogo on a different browser. So if I click the confirm link, it takes me in Microsoft Edge and I can't actually use it. So I've got to copy and paste it and it just becomes a whole thing. I've got to the point where I'm not even signing up for books anymore. I back that many of them. You know, as soon as I see anything that's digital, it's a reasonable price, I back it anyway. So it doesn't really matter. As long as I keep my eye on those platforms and make sure that I see what's coming out that's new. And there's plenty of ComicsMATE people and ComicsMATE adjacent people that throw up interesting new projects. So you're always aware of them. But yeah, I've lined up a couple of artists. Like Dean's obviously doing a pinup for me. Bob Stone's doing a pinup. I got these 2 other blokes doing some pinups and character sketches for me. I was trying to get one of these top tier ComicsMATE pro type guys just to either say I'm too busy or to give me a figure, just to give me a number. Because I have no idea. What's an Ethan Van Sciver cover cost? $5,000, $10,000? I don't know.
John Whelan and I can't imagine he'd be cheap, eh?
Yeah. So either give me a number that's either just say, look, I'm too busy. I'm not doing covers for regular folks. All right, fair enough. Prerogative, he's a busy guy. Rocafort is a busy guy. Malin's a busy guy. I contacted Kyle Ritter to see if I could get him to color my cover. And that was like 3 months ago. And I just don't know if he doesn't know there's that message request thing at the top of your DMs there, or if he just, because it has it says sent and seen. It hasn't even said seen. It just says sent. So for 3 months, right, the message has been sitting there. So I don't know if he's just not aware of it or he's just too busy. I just like, if they're too busy, I just like them to know, say, hey, look, sorry, anonymous bloke I've never heard of before. I'm just too busy right now. I can't just take rando commissions. All right, too easy. I'll take my money elsewhere. No harm, no foul. But when you're sitting around just waiting, you don't want to be needy. You don't want to be constantly on them saying, hey, man, I hit you up before and I didn't hear you back. What's going on? So it's a bit of a flawed system there. It does feel very incestuous, like they're all doing covers for each other and building each other up. And it's like this whole other tier above the rest of us mere mortals. And it doesn't seem like it's that easy to access. Even like my money's as green as anyone else's. I've got money to spend. I've got money to spend on that sort of thing. But I don't know. It just hasn't happened so far. So because you're not just buying, you're not just buying an Ethan Van Sciver cover. You're not just buying Kyle Ritter colors. You're buying the clout that comes with that, like the name, the brand recognition, the eyes on. If you say, hey, I've got an EVS cover, that's hundreds of people looking at your project that maybe wouldn't have given it a second look beforehand. So I know that you're paying for more than just the artwork.
If you say you got an Ethan Van Sciver cover, and even if he only talks about your cover once on a stream, there's usually 1,000 people watching that's going to hear it.
Yeah.
So you're going to get potentially 1,000 people check out your campaign.
And that's worth more than
whether
the cover
they buy it or not,
Yeah.
But,
and if you've got a good product, like I believe I've got a really good product. I believe that if people just give it a chance to have a look at it, if I can just get the eyes on it, more often not, people can be like, damn, that's some great artwork. I want to back this project. That's a great hook. It's a great elevator pitch. It's a great intro. The cover looks awesome. The colors, you see how good the colors are on this cover. People are going to want to back this book. I just need to get the eyes on. So I'm hoping having all this promo art can do that. I can just constantly pump out these images to get people interested. And I'm thinking, well, I've seen this, it can work over time. It can wear people down. They see several images over a period of time and they say, constantly seeing this company man project and these characters are looking really cool, looking just like alpha operator dudes in the desert there fighting against bad guys and PMCs and stuff. I'm going to give this a chance. I'm going to click on that link and have a look at what it's all about. That's all I need. I just need people to see it. Once they see it, I think the work will speak for itself.
That's it.
It's like what's happening with Stefani there. Like, his Thomas Moyer stuff, the artwork you see him posting on that is just, it's amazing. Like, the last couple of pages he posted for that book are just unbelievable. That should be a 6-figure book already. People should be tripping over themselves to back that book.
Should be. That's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
like you see the difference between him and Shane Davis. Like one's got a bit of a following, one doesn't.
Yeah, so I mean, is it just because people like cats? I can't see that's the, he's got that pro recognition. This was going to say about Stefani. Is it because he's never filled a book before? Is it because he's not a known name?
No, I don't know. It's not, definitely can't be because of the art, because the art is as good as what the cats one is. Like they're both prime, but I think it's just Shane Davis has been around for the past few months. Like, remember, Ethan was always talking on his live streams that we're getting the DC artist come and join. You're going to know soon. He's just got to finish up his books at DC. So he sort of knew someone was coming. And then when he announced that it's Shane Davis, then he's been on Ethan's streams. He's doing his own streams. He's been around for a little bit. And then his wife is a savage on Twitter.
Isn't she? She's fantastic. I love reading her tweets. She just does not care.
She does not give two fucks. Hey, she is good on Twitter, and you know what I mean. It's just got a bit of a following there, and that's the difference. Yeah. He's made 50, and Stefani's only made 15, or whatever it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say between 12 to 15.
I don't think it's got anything to do with people liking cats more than wizards, or people liking one art more than the other. I think it's just one people know
name recognition. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe the other thing people need to consider, and this might even apply to me as well, if it's your first campaign and you're unproven, aside from me doing reviews that I think indicate that I know how to tell a story because I can point out what people are doing right, what they're doing wrong, what they should be doing better. So people can sort of say, well, I have faith that Lee knows how to tell a good story. I might check his book out. Aside from that sort of thing, I got no name recognition. There's absolutely zero reason anybody would back my book beyond the art, beyond the promise that I'm going to deliver this thing that I say that I will. So maybe what I'm going to say is maybe I just need to accept that, and people like Stefani and people that are doing their first Kickstarter, this isn't the early days of ComicsMATE and people just throw money around willy-nilly, and Detective Dead made like 50 grand or whatever it is. Like maybe we just need to accept we're going to pull in 10, 15, maybe 20 if we're lucky, and 20 grand is still a good chunk of change. Look at someone like Sweetcast, Clint. He built up. So maybe you're going to pull 10 or 11 the first time round. The second time you pull 15, the third you pull 20, 25, 40, 80. Build up to it, work your way up. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So if my first book doesn't pull in 50K, okay, the next one will pull in 10 more than the one before it, or double the one before it, and I'll just keep doubling. So I also look at like that sort of thing. Yeah, Stefani's maybe not getting the recognition he deserves, but what does he deserve? His art speaks for itself, but he hasn't really proven anything. He'll do this. He'll make what he makes, 20 grand, 30 grand, and then he'll double it next time because people know that it's the real deal.
It's a toughie too, because like you look at Cecil or the first Vestige, like they were Cecil's he's never done a book, but I think he's got the.
He's proven himself just by being on the streams and being funny.
He's been around, and he was there when it all began, and it's just going to take time. And now that there's so many books now, and with the postage, people don't really want to. Like you look at Clint, like I think his first book might have been, was it 25 or 30 or something?
Yeah, it was like fives.
Then his next book made, I think, 10 grand more, and then now his third book that he was talking about that for a long time before he done it, and it's up to 70 grand American or something.
Yeah,
it's just I think you just got to take time. Like my eventual goal would be to be able to be in like 5 years, be able to do 2 books a year, have the stories in the bank ahead, and then say if you can make 50 grand on each campaign, that's 100 grand a year Australian.
I'd be laughing.
If you could do that, that's a living. Like the missus works. Whereas at the moment now, my goal in the short term is to be able to just work part time, and then make a little bit on the side doing books. Like if I make 15 grand on a book, well then that's you just keep building from that. But the eventual goal would be able to do 2 books a year, one every 6 months, and if you can make 50 grand on each book. And that's enough to live on.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the Brian Polito model. You know, I don't know if you've seen Zach's videos about Brian Polito. Yeah. Steadily built it up, and he puts out a new one now. He hits 100K in a day, and he does a couple of years. So, you know, every 2 or 3 years he's making $1 million. And I don't know how much money's going out because I don't even know if he writes them, to be honest. I got his well, Skip, mate, when your show was running, it was dinner time for the kids, wasn't it? You know,
that's right.
Brother, I was cooking eggs on toast. We had eggs on toast for dinner tonight and made some soup for the missus. It's just, I love you, brother, but it's just how it is. It's just the timing. You know, you're a dad, Skip. You know how it is. Dad life, brother. Dad for life. At least till 18, you kick him out of the house.
When you're too good to come on our show, Skip, I'm not going to come on yours, all right?
One day I'll get on to Skip's show. It'll be a day when the kids are fed ahead of time.
I was going to jump on your show last night, Skip, but you were on when the missus come home from work and hadn't seen her for a couple of days, so I thought, better not.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like, you know, the missus at work, she'll get home at sort of 6:30, maybe 7. Everyone's starting to do their streams. Liam's got a stream. Skip's got a stream. If my missus walks through the door after the job she does, and she's got a fairly good paying, fairly high level job with a lot of responsibility and a lot of stress, if she comes home like, yeah, g'day, glad you're home, I'm just going to jump on with the boys, she had my nuts in it. It's not worth it, mate. It's not worth the, you know. And then it's, oh, yeah, Dar, can you take care of the kids and feed them? And I'm just going to jump on the stream and talk shit with the boys. No way. Dead man walking. So if she comes home, you got to give her money. What's that, Dean?
Until you make money off it, at least.
Yeah,
well, that's right.
Then you can use it as an excuse.
The missus now, she's never watched any of my YouTube, and she watched the first video of mine yesterday. She watched the Superman review, and I'm like, if you fucking laugh at me, we're getting a divorce, and I'm leaving the house. And but yeah, like, yeah, she's like, are you going to stream? I'm like, no, you're home from work. I'm not going to stream because she does 8 on 4 off, so she does the first 4 are 6 till 2, so she's up at like 4 in the morning to go to work.
Bloody
and
hell.
then she does a layover shift, and then she does 4 afternoons where she does 3 till 11. So like when she's on night shift and the daughter's in bed, then I'll stream. But then when she's on days off, I usually won't stream unless she's out or she's doing shit with her friends and shit. Then I'll stream. But she's getting to the point now. Like last night, she's like, "Are you gonna stream tonight?" And I'm like, "No, I wasn't gonna. We streamed all day, and then you were home." She's like, I'm like, why? And she's like, oh, well, you streamed last Wednesday. I'm like, yeah, but we're not that big yet. Where we're gonna have one day, maybe one day we'll have like do what Michael does, and he does the certain times like Liam and that do. But yeah,
I think Michael's got the right plan. You're doing it every day, but you're only doing it for an hour. So it's not a crazy huge commitment. I find the middle of the day is easier because she's off at work. Usually some of my kids are at school, some are at home. They're not school age yet. So I've only got, one of them here, and it's just a lot easier like that. So night times don't tend to work the same. Like I was at 9:30 now. Both the kids are awake. That's nuts. They should be asleep, but they don't go to sleep till we do. So, sometime in the next half hour, the missus is probably going to go to bed, and I'll have to take the kiddos to bed as well. So that, because she's got a big day tomorrow. She's a big event at her work, something that's been, prepared for a couple of weeks now. So she's got all hands on deck. When you're in your house, Dad, you just gotta do that. You gotta support.
You gotta do what you gotta do, mate.
Yeah, I worked past emasculation a long time ago. Plus, like I said, she's paying for my whole comic. Like I can't. What can I say? It's like if I get any level of success from this, it's because she's bankrolled the whole. Yeah, the money's in our account. We got one account. I transfer the money from that account to my business account. I pay people out of my business account. So I paid Bob Stone a down payment today for the picture he's going to draw me.
Oh, yeah.
And I can pay you for the one you're working on for me as well, Dean. I can put that in tomorrow if you want.
Don't say that publicly. You need to let everyone think that you already did pay me and that we're very professional. And
what if we get Dean to do peanuts for us, and then we get together and buy him like a plant garden with trees?
What the fuck?
We could get him little baby trees.
Yeah, bonsai.
It's not nearly as funny as you think it is.
We could get him little itty bitty ones with little leaves.
Man, hack his account and change his PFP to be a tree. anyway, so I just got a few things lined up. So I'm really looking forward to showing people the pinups and stuff that I'm getting made. But even after they're drawn, I also want to get them coloured so I can show that progression, like pencils and then inks and then maybe you do a different one every like one a day or one every couple of hours. You know, like when you break the day up to sort of 8-hour blocks. So 8 hours in, I show pencils, say like pencil sketch from what Dean did for me. 8 hours later, I show the inks that he did for me, and then 8 hours later, I put up the coloured pin-up or something. You know, just trying to get some interest, and then and if I've got the mailing list ready to go, then and there's links every time saying, you know, this is the product, this is what it's all about. Here's a little blurb. If that's your sort of thing. If you like spy, espionage type, superhuman, metahuman, you know, political type stuff, you know, go for it. Jump on, have a look. I mean, 60 pages. That's not a bad start.
No, that's it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I want to get all mine called coloured just so you can see.
Yeah.
Try different colours, see what suits look different with different colours and shit.
It's got more impact, you know. The colour, people appreciate black and white art, but when you see the colour stuff, it's got a lot more impact, and I think that's what makes people reach for their wallets. I'll be right back, boys.
All right, mate.
Been inking today, Dean?
That's what I'm doing right now. That's why I'm so quiet.
Oh,
I'm nearly finished. Yeah,
how many pages have you inked?
12.
Ooh. How many pages is your first book?
60. It's 120 pages, but I split it up into the two because it'll take forever. 60
mine will
pages.
Mine will be about 60.
Yeah, I think that's a good size, you know.
I couldn't really do much smaller without it sort of having to cut scenes out, and then you like when you're skipping between scenes, it's a real big jump and just.
So you don't want to do that.
You know, so it's like do 60. It'll cost me a bit extra to make it, but
the way I see it, 48 is the bare minimum, 60 is just right, and anything bigger than that is bonus.
Yeah,
that's the way I look at it, though. You know, I'm sure someone out there disagrees. It's just my opinion, and this is the internet.
Could you imagine if we had, like, say, if you it's 3 books, and it's 60 pages each. So what's that? 120.
That's 180.
180 pages. Imagine imagine having to post that shit from Australia. It would cost a fortune.
Yeah, how much do you reckon Liam's postage is costing him? His book is 200 pages.
I don't know. Is his book going to be like on the normal paper, like a manga book, or is it going to be on comic paper?
I think it's more comic paper.
Yeah.
What Liam's going for is it's a manga, but it's done like a Western comic book.
So it's comic size, yeah, right.
Yeah. It's going to be a big graphic novel, though. Like you should see, it's fat as fuck. He's like showing videos and stuff of it already. It's real thick.
Yeah. Like you pick up a normal manga book, and even though they're an inch thick, they're real light because they're that newspaper.
Yeah, I was about to say
funny paper,
crappy black and white stuff. No, well, I ordered the color version, so I assume that's going to be just like a regular comic book. Otherwise, how would the colors even sit on it? They just end up looking crap.
Oh, I guess it's like the old days when they used to color them by hand.
Yeah, right. I've seen how they used to make comic books. Have a team of people using separate colors all together.
I was reading one of my old Aquaman ones the other day, and you could tell like they've colored it with pens and shit. And like it literally looked like a 2-year-old had colored it because they'd gone over the outlines and shit. Like, this is old school. This is.
Yeah, they don't make comic books like that anymore. No way.
No, but I'm a fan of digital.
Oh yeah, I definitely like it, but I prefer digital colors anyway.
Oh yeah,
because I think it looks nicer. Fucking hell. I'm doing all the bricks.
The bricks
nearly finished, yeah, and I've left the sky completely blank because you know how Lee's colorist loves to use the sky pictures. So yeah, I've left the sky completely empty, none of my drawn clouds or anything, and he can just fill it up with some sort of sky background that we know he loves.
So you're not colouring yours, though? You're going to get someone else to do it?
No. Oh, mine? I'm still undecided. I don't know. We'll see when we get there because it's still a long way away now.
Yeah. You're going to do your own letters? Your own letters?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're already doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to learn to letter because I reckon like on a 60-page book, you're probably saving $2-3 grand in letters. I reckon.
Yeah, it's actually pretty fun too once you figure out how to do it.
Yeah, just got to get a program on my iPad or my tablet and figure
Have you
it
got
out.
any Adobe stuff? Because I use InDesign to do the letters.
No, I don't really know much about it, so that's why I got to. Once when the book's starting to be written, I'm going to get a new iPad at Christmas. So then I'll download some programs and just play around with it and see if I can figure it out. Because like I remember watching one of Zach's videos once. And he said the best thing you can do is learn to letter.
Learn to code. Yeah.
Because like even if it's like 10, even if you can get a letterist from Facebook, say for $10 a page, at 60 pages, what's that? That's nearly like $1,500 or something just in letters.
Yeah, that's saving heaps.
And that's American. That's American. So you add $700 to that Australian. The changeover. It's,
exactly.
$2,000 for letters. So we'll see.
Oh. But yeah, I think you'd be smarter to give it a go yourself. At least give it a shot first, and then
so like when I'm getting the artists and shit, and I'm gonna get an iPad at Christmas because mine's slowly dying, so I'll get myself an iPad for Christmas. But
nice.
Yeah, then I'll get some. I'll fucking ask a few people around to see what's the best programs and shit, and then try and teach myself.
Yeah, get it done.
Remember that art that I was showing you today in the group chat?
Yeah, I remember.
He sent me a link to his latest book that he's done on a Kickstarter. So I'm just I'm going back to find the link to see what it's called, and I'll bring it up and we'll share it. It's called Jonah's Voyage to Atlantis. Fuck it looks cool.
I'm a big fan of Atlantis, so I'm keen. You have my attention.
I think it's his last project he's done, but it's still only in the sign up phase.
All right. Has it got a trailer?
I haven't. I've only looked at it on my phone, so it's probably got one of them Kickstarter trailers. Maybe he's just the artist. He hasn't written it, so.
Okay.
Jonah's Voyage to Atlantis.
Doing a brick wall takes a long time.
Yeah, I imagine it would.
It does. I've got 2 brick walls. I'm doing the second one now. I literally I spent all day today redesigning the teleport, like the way I did the teleporting.
Yeah.
So, because it didn't look it didn't look bad, but it didn't look cool enough, if you ask me, And so I wanted to make it a little more flashy, and so I've got this brand new redesign of the teleport, which looks great. And yeah, once I've done these bricks, I've literally just got to do the couple of buildings off in the distance that are just black outlines essentially. But once this brick wall's done, that's all I've got to do, and then it's finished. I was trying to get it done by today, but I probably won't get it finished by tonight. I'm getting really tired. When you get tired, you start fucking shit up.
Useless after 9 p.m.
Yeah, something like that. But I got so much done today, man. I got literally the whole top half of the page minus one character. I got all of that done today because one character was already inked, but the whole top half of the page, I did all of that today. And it's a lot of detail. Like it's all the fire, 1 brick wall, 3 teleports, a building, some rubble, the ice beam. There's a whole bunch of shit all happening. This whole page is chaos. Yeah, I'm going to save it here because I am absolutely wrecked. Yeah. And then, because I'm going to wreck, because when I make a brick wall, I'll rule all the lines in a checkerboard, and then I will rub out every second line to make it look like bricks.
Yeah.
And if I have to start rubbing out every second line right now in the state I'm in right now, I guarantee I'll start messing it up. So
you'll get every third. You get every third, and every fourth, and every first.
Exactly. So I'm going to rule the checkered lines, which I've just done, and then that's it. I'm not going to erase that until tomorrow morning. That can be the thing I do tomorrow morning, and then it'll be finished. It's literally, I've got like half an hour's work left to do, an hour at the most.
Yeah, cool. Well,
I've done it all day, man.
It's exhausting when you're sitting at home, eh? Like whether you're just drawing or whether you watch TV, or it's fucking exhausting.
It really takes its toll on you, even if you're not really doing anything all day.
You're sitting down, your ass gets sore. It's like.
Come back to the chat. And we're all talking about sore asses. What's going on, boys?
Yeah, it's a bit weird, eh? We're getting a bit.
Yeah, how it goes.
What's this book?
So, there's ComicsMATE, now that you've been kind enough to join us again.
Yeah, we were just talking about what we're up to. ComicsMATE, you weren't here, but I redesigned that teleports on the poster that I'm doing for you.
Okay, cool.
I've made them a lot more flashy. They look 10 times better.
That's impressive because they already look great.
You think? I was not happy with. They were driving me crazy. I was not happy with it at all. Yeah, it was like the one thing that stood out on the page. I was looking at it the whole time, going, "Yeah, I don't like that." The entire time I've been doing the inking, I was just
getting a drink. I'll be back.
Right. Yeah, well, that's the artist's prerogative, though, isn't it? You know, you look at it and you see the mistakes.
Yeah, there's another mistake now, but I've already inked it, and I'm not going to fix it, and no one else will ever see it. So.
That's all right.
I'll show you in private, so me and you can just talk shit about it all the time. But God, I'm not redoing this. I'm not redoing any more brick walls, and I'm not redoing any more fire. It's just this whole page is chaos.
It sounds like the story, to be honest. No, Greg, we're not butthurt. I have a very comfortable posture chair that helps maintain the health of my lower back. But thanks for asking.
I unfortunately don't. I literally drag my desk towards my bed because I don't have a chair, and then I push sit on the edge of my bed with my desk in front of me.
It sounds really uncomfortable. So is this Jonah
actually
from the
not bad.
Bible?
It's quite cushy.
Is this Jonah from the Bible that got swallowed by the great fish?
I have no idea. Is that a thing?
Did they not have scripture when you went to school, Dean?
I don't think we went to the same kind of school, mate.
Dean is only a young pup.
Public school. Most public schools in Australia still do scripture.
No, there was no religious stuff in my school at all.
It's pretty common in public schools. Maybe it's just in New South Wales, maybe not in Victoria. Well, Jonah was told by God to go to this city and preach to them and tell them that, tell them God's word and tell them God's law and tell them they got to get into line. And they would kill anybody that was different to them. They hated anybody that was different to them. So he refused to go. And he kept trying to hide from God, which is ridiculous because God can see everything. He's omniscient. So he ends up getting on this boat trying to go in the opposite direction. And the boat gets sunk or Jonah falls overboard and he gets swallowed up by a great fish. A lot of people call it a whale, but it doesn't actually say whale. It says a big fish or a great fish. And he's inside the fish for a while until that's right. Whale's not a fish. And he's in there until he sort of reconciles that he's got to do what he's got to do. Anyway, he goes to he gets out of the fish eventually and he goes to the city he's supposed to go to thinking, the second I go through the gates and start preaching a different religion, they're going to kill me. And he starts preaching it, and the king of the city takes the word very seriously and immediately tells all the citizens to get on board with God's plan, and they throw out all their rich stuff and they put on sackcloths and put ashes and dust upon their head and start worshipping God. And
I just got to interrupt you, Lee.
Yeah.
Any of you guys want a Monte Carlo while I'm getting the packet out?
You bastard. I mean, thanks for offering, man.
I'm just getting me Monte Carlos and getting comfy on the couch.
Bloody Monte Carlo. Got Monte Carlos and the Golden Girls. You're living some sort of life up there, mate.
Oh, it's heaven.
I keep joking about moving, but you wait and see. I'm only going to move in next door somewhere.
Barbecue's there, ready when you are.
I'll be like, I was on the barbie tonight, mate. It's like, that guy won't go away. So I don't know. Is this like a thing where they're rewriting that biblical story and Jonah instead goes to Atlantis?
Well, I haven't read it yet, but there's a reason why I got it pulled up, Lee. But you were too good, and you dipped out, so you missed it. But you know the artwork the artwork I was showing you today from that guy that you had that said had tight pencils.
Mm.
This is his last book.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So it's
so
not
he's done
his
something
book.
before.
Yeah. So this is his artwork. It's not his book, but it's his artwork.
All right. Cool.
So it's in the. He sent me the link. It's in the sign up phase, I think. Pre-order now, or whatever it is. But yeah. So this is his. Ventura is the artist. I haven't done much reading in it, but
I don't know. I just sort of feel like when you make it a Christian themed comic, and I mean this is pre-Jesus. This happened, so I suppose it's a Jewish comic, really.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it, so
you're just cutting out a big. There's a bunch of people. The only people that you can safely attack are straight white males. You can attack them all day, and nobody's going to say you're wrong for doing it. And just about the only religion you can attack safely with any sort of repercussions is Christianity. So when you put out a book that's got like biblical overtones, it's got that Christian message, I feel like you're gonna people love to hate Christianity because it's been a predominant religion for so long, and because it does offer something different than other religions. Like its dogma is different to the other ones. It doesn't fit the pattern that all the other ones can sort of slot into. You can see how all the other ones are variations of the same sort of ideas. Christianity actually is the only one that brings something completely different and new to the table. So it's always been picked out and picked on and held up as like, well, this is different, and because it's different, it's wrong. So people are going to attack it. So if you have a Christian style book, I think a bunch of people are just going to say, I'm not even interested, because they're afraid they're going to get preached at. They're afraid that they're going to be made to feel bad for the choices they make. You know, it's a brave thing to do, I guess.
I'm not sure where the writer was from. I think the writer is Philip Koloski. I think he's from Wisconsin. So, but the artist who I've been talking to is from Brazil. So, everyone's going mute over there.
Yeah, the little fella just started having a chat in the background, so I thought I'd mute it. A lot of great artists coming out of Brazil. Let's do what Dean said there and watch the trailer, then we'll see what it's all about. See if that's the direction they're going.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to also say something about Brazil. Nothing but great artists in there.
Hi, I'm Philip Kozlowski, writer and founder of Voyage Comics and Publishing. I'd like to show you our latest project, Jonah's Voyage to Atlantis. With this project, we are inspired by the Book of Jonah as translated by J.R.R. Tolkien in the Jerusalem Bible. Jonah prays in the belly of the whale, and the words used by Tolkien are very interesting and reveal a fascinating Hebrew tradition. Tolkien writes, "The waters surrounded me right to my throat. The abyss was all around me. The seaweed was wrapped around my head at the roots of the mountains. I went down into countries underneath the earth, to the peoples of the past." This corresponds to an ancient Hebrew story of Jonah traveling to the underworld. In addition, what's fascinating is that some historians have linked one of the cities that is mentioned in the Book of Jonah with the legendary city of Atlantis. The result will be a mix of biblical history, fantasy, and mythology, all merged together to tell a story of mercy, forgiveness, and the light that shines in the darkness. We're excited to create this epic comic book in honor of J.R.R. Tolkien.
I really like that. That looked cool. Skip, that's ridiculous.
I feel like this book is a niche of a niche of a niche of a niche. You know, like it's people who are going to be okay with biblical stuff, and there's a lot of people that aren't. People that are going to be okay with a retelling of a story or an alternate version of a story that historians might disagree with. People that are going to be okay with you bringing the Atlantis on the cover was like tech future DC Atlantis.
Doing anything positive about Tolkien at all is going to get you cancelled too these days, because remember, people hate him, think he's racist.
Yeah, I mean, everything's what did Anna Sarkeesian say? Everything's racist, everything's sexist, everything's got to be examined through that lens. They've taken the fun out of everything. Yeah, so I don't know. I think if you do, he's got 15 grand. So I mean, that's cool. If you want to do this because it's a burning thing, you have that desire to do it. But I don't think it looks bad. I don't know if there's a career in it.
Yeah, no, like it wouldn't be an ongoing series or nothing. This could be a one shot at best, I think. But like, I don't think it looks bad at all. You know, like I just don't really have anything too positive to say about it.
No,
in the nicest way. Like, usually when I say shit like that, I'm being mean. But like, no, this time it's just like, yeah, whatever, looks all right, cool.
I'd be curious about all the Atlantis stuff, but as part of all the religious stuff, I wouldn't have a clue what I'm reading because I don't know anything about it. But
well, yeah, that's how I feel. I always like Atlantis stuff. You know, I've always had a soft spot for Atlantis, and so it instantly had my attention. And then, yeah, same as you, Kels. You know, all the religious stuff just kind of lost me a little bit. I didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah,
I wouldn't really know what was going on, but I'm not against it at all. I find that stuff interesting. I've always enjoyed Daredevil and Spawn, and you know, religious characters and stuff, Constantine, etc.
But yeah, it's just the artist I was talking to sent me the link, so that's how I found it, because he's like, this was the last project I worked on. So,
well, there you go. Yeah. Like, I just finished saying the art looks good enough, right? So
this is the artist, Alessandro Ventura.
Ace Ventura.
That's what I said. And so he's from Brazil. Jesse Hansen, co-founder of Cornerstone Creative Studios.
Oh yeah.
He's the colorist. Brian Arfel Magne. James Reed is the letterer, and we know who the writer and stuff is. So.
Hey, all right, I've got something different here. Let's have a look at this one. I don't know if this is CG or not, but I'll share this one in a second. What's an animated comic? Is that what I think it is?
One like Marvel was doing a while ago, where the panels move a little bit, and the camera shifts from panel to panel, and speech balloons pop up at different times as you're reading it.
That's what I'm thinking. That's
speed line.
What do you got?
No, I think it's going to be more of a video than a book. I don't know. Let's have a look.
Oh, okay.
Skip just said he emailed me the brushes that he was talking to me about a while ago, so thanks for that, mate.
Took your time, but better late than never, right?
We're all busy. We're all busy people.
Yeah, Skip's not.
He's got kids. He's busy.
Yeah, here, check this one out. I've just found this right now too, so if you're like, oh my god, that's from fucking Renfamous, I had no idea. But, yeah, like you can see why it got my attention though, right? Like very flashy. But yeah, and an AR app.
You do like pinks, don't you, Dean? You do like pinks.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of pink bits.
Nice recovery.
I'm confused. But that looks cool. Product demo. I wonder how it works.
Is it like one on holographic paper? Like, you know, you can scratch it with your fingernail and it makes that weird sound.
No, it's augmented reality, which means it's probably you got to probably look at it on your phone or something, which is what I'm trying to find out now.
It's like it's all digital.
Viewing the comic in AR is easy.
Because it looks like, look, you've got the real book in your hand, and then when you look at the book with your phone using this app, it's going to make the pictures on the book move.
Sounds like too much work to me.
It would be a lot of work to make. It's very impressive, and like, you know, I've spoken to you guys about my VR and my computer and all that before. Like, I love all that stuff, so this is very interesting. I don't know if I'm interested enough to back it, but I definitely want to learn more and understand how the hell they even made this.
I love the aesthetic and everything. Like, everything about it is very cool. It's like westernized Ghost in the Shell. It's got that retro synthwave, new wave. You know,
see, look at that. That looks awesome.
It does. I just don't know if I care. Like, you know, like you got three panels there. You got the top talking, you got the car in the middle, you got the dude in the bottom smoking. I don't think the headlights and the moving and the smoke moving and that, I don't think it makes really it a better story. Anything. Yeah, it's like, it's cool and it's a cool gimmick, but I think that's all it is. I don't think it's going to become the standard. Like you said, I think it would be a lot of work to do. And, you know, when someone lays out a page, they do it very specifically the way they want. I'm thinking about that Warren Ellis issue of Moon Knight, where it's almost no words. It's just Moon Knight just bashing his way to the top of this building to save this kidnapped girl. Right. Excellent. Just one scene is the whole book. Fantastic. I think I have to own in physical copy just so I can enjoy looking at it. Every single, and I watched there's a guy who does a YouTube channel called Strip Panel Naked. And if you guys haven't seen that, Strip Panel Naked is excellent. He really breaks down the visuals and how things are laid out and how one panel flows into another. Like, this guy's really mastered an understanding of comic book art and how it all goes together. He did a breakdown of it, and it showed how everything is so deliberately put together. Like, every time there's an actual impact, there's no background. You get like a clear background so you can really focus on the action. But when there's the in-between bits, that's when you get this really detailed crumbling tenement building behind it, stuff like that. When an artist lays out a page, it's all done very, very deliberately. I feel like when you have all this stuff that changes and alters and moves and doesn't stay consistent, it means that the artist's vision is compromised, perhaps.
No, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I hadn't thought about that until you started saying it. But with that being said, then, you know, to make it work, you would have to limit the animations to things like, you know, a bit of smoke moving or, you know, some lights flashing or something like that. And then if you're down to just limiting it to little things like that, well, then what's the point?
Yeah, and if you go too far the other way, people might say, why not just make a cartoon? Well, it's not easy.
Exactly.
It's not easy. You can't.
My original thoughts were, is this going to be a cartoon? So
the fact that there's a game, though, I mean, if it's more than just a real simple run and shoot sort of game, it's got a little bit more to it. There's a game that came out earlier this year, The Hunt Down, which is like a 2D side scroller set in a futuristic post neon tech cyberpunk world like this. This is a fantastic game. It's got so much complexity for something that's so simple.
These guys are playing with some sort of technology.
I mean, I'll back it, and
I like that shirt.
But does it only does that when you're looking at it through a phone? So it's like, again, it's so gimmicky. It's like, hey, bro, check out my shirt. What? Get your phone out and have a look at my phone through my shirt through that. Oh,
it would be a novelty for a little bit.
Yeah,
but
like those color change shirts we used to have. Remember those? And you'd breathe on them, and they change color.
Yeah, well, see, AR cards is like as far as I've ever dealt with AR stuff. So this is all very new.
I see a lot of stuff
I have
bleeding
no
over
idea
into
the limits.
A lot of stuff bleeding over into wargaming as well. There's a big move, and it's not being received particularly well, and I can see why. In wargaming, where you have like your card and your app on your phone and your miniatures and that, and as you move the miniatures around the board, like the gaming board, not a play board. It's not Monopoly and it's not Gloomhaven or anything. This is proper tabletop gaming. When you move them around and they interact and everything, you look it through the phone and it shows the numbers and everything flash up and it shows who does damage to what. And it's like, we just use dice for that, guys. Somebody's, hey guys, check this out. It's augmented reality. It's the next level. Your miniatures move on the screen and you see the numbers come up. You can keep track of it all. And it's like, we've been doing this for 40 years with pen, paper, and a couple of dice. We don't this is just unnecessary, fellas. So I think it's all very gimmicky. It's cool, but I just don't think it's going to stick around. I hope they do well off it, though.
Yeah, no, I like the idea.
The style.
Gimmicky is the word for it.
Yeah,
but
I might get it. I might get it, and it might blow my mind. I might just be like, "Whoa, I was so wrong on this." Like this adds a whole another level of depth that I couldn't even comprehend. Like, how would I know? I don't know. Until I actually see it. I can talk shit about it, but until I've actually got it in my hands and I experience it, I'm just going off what I can see here. It looks really cool, but cool's not always enough to get me to back. I'll grab a digital one, though, and see how that goes, see what the go with that is.
It comes in a digital copy, so you should be dripping at the legs, Lee, to get one.
I would actually, this would make an interesting review as well because it is so different.
Yeah.
It could be good for your channel.
Yeah, I'll definitely grab a digital one.
No, there's two issues.
Lee can't do reviews through his phone. He's not that. He only likes doing 1,000-word scripted reviews.
Most of my review scripts clock in at 2,000 words. Actually,
Lee can't do off-the-cuff reviews, so the watcher wouldn't be able to see it. So
yeah, I've seen he had one live review and it went for like 2 hours, didn't it?
Yep. Just after I cut it down. That's why I write scripts, boys. If I don't limit myself, no one will.
If I do a 15-minute review, I'm getting bored. Gotta end it.
I go off down the garden path. I'll have a pen. I'll say, this reminds me of this issue of Batman from 1985, and off I go. And before you know it, it's half an hour later.
Like, Batman in the 80s, something completely different.
Yeah. And then Adam West and Michael Keaton.
Yeah, and then Adam West.
Sure did, Greg. It looked good. I'll share my screen because I think Skip needs a cuddle.
Aww. Skip.
I think Skip needs a cuddle.
Hey, Skip. Did you know that they call Australians skips or skippy as some sort of attempt to as an insult? It doesn't work. It doesn't insult us, but they attempt to. Did you know that? Did you know your name is cultural appropriation?
He needs a cuddle.
Oh. Why does he need a cuddle? What's wrong with Skip?
Because he's retweeted my tweet about the live channel, and he's like fighting with my computer, but I'll be in the chat. And I'm like, all I hear is excuses over and over again. He's like, I'm in the chat that you aren't reading.
We're sorry, Skip. We'll pay attention to you for the rest of the night, mate. All right.
He needs a cuddle.
Check on Skip every 30 seconds for the rest of the stream.
I want to see that US assassin.
Yeah,
it's all physical.
I'm going to try and find it on Twitter so I can see the cover again.
Like, I love the design. I love the idea. I like anything that's like US agent, US assassin, US anything like that. I think it's really clever. I'm so mad that I didn't come up with US agent myself. Like, there's some concepts I see and I'm like, I am cranky at the universe that someone come up with that before I did. It's the same with Phil Diaz's silhouette character. He's just like literally a living, like he's this pulp detective type vigilante, but he's a living silhouette. Like he's just like all black. Yeah. He's just like darkness.
That sounds like something that you would create too.
Oh, I'm so cross that he come up with it first. and like rightly so, he thought of it probably years ago. And I just looked at it thinking that, like Dean just said, that's so my speed. I should have come up with that. I know I'm older than him. I should have got on that a lot earlier. Now, the first episode of Houses is actually a documentary, that show. That's not, like, a lot of people think it's a comedy, but that's actually a documentary in the main street of Sydney. And
Just a day
that
in the
main bloke,
life.
yeah, Paulie, that main bloke, he's actually our Prime Minister. So they call him ScoMo for some reason. It's to do with the way that he smokes so long. It's very unusual, but he's actually that's actually our Prime Minister. Top bloke.
You know, I saw the Households live once on stage in Melbourne.
That's too bad.
It's bloody hilarious.
Yeah.
Remember the fat pizza?
Yeah. That was so tasteless, that show. And then that what's her name? Rebel Wilson was on that as like Tula or Dula or whatever. And they're still doing houses, and she's off doing stuff in Hollywood now. You wouldn't think the same chick. She was doing that, and then she turned up in a Ghost Rider for about 2 seconds. Nick Cage's Ghost Rider, and all of a sudden she's doing all these like rom-com type things. Yeah.
Me and 2 of my friends appeared in Ghost Rider for about 2 seconds as well.
That's pretty cool.
It was filmed. Yeah, it was filmed right outside of Craigieburn, like when I was about 13.
Yeah, I didn't know
Good
that.
times. Yeah, yeah. The opening scene where his dad dies doing the stunt tricks and stuff.
Yeah.
Basically, like half my school was there in the crowd.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
What a great story.
Yeah.
How's that for a car? Pretty cool.
Can you click on that and make it bigger? That's what she said.
Ganacron.
We'll get out of that. Stop sharing
He's like,
that.
nope, I'm not going to click on it. Fuck you guys.
He could have, like, he had to click on something to click off it. He could have just clicked on it. It's the same click.
Oh my god.
That
Shut
Kennicron dude, that's another dude that I contacted, and I said, mate, you know, I see you doing a few covers and that. Like, are you doing covers for anybody that's ComicsMATE? You know, like, what's your availability? You got some time? You got a commission slot? What's it cost? Just haven't heard anything back. I just like these big names to just say, oh mate, look, I'm booked out, or I don't know you. Or, no,
you haven't heard back from Ken. I messaged Ganacron. He follows me. I'll tell him to fucking.
I'm pretty
I've
sure
spoken
he
to him plenty of times. He said he was going to do something for me when I eventually get around to it, because I was a big fan of his as a kid.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't heard of him, but I'm sure he's followed me back, and like I've sent him a message now. He's working on Greg's cover. That's why I can't take. Look at Greg. He's working on my cover right now. So I don't know. I just don't know. I'm just sending the messages wrong. I'm trying to be polite about it and just saying.
Yeah,
look,
no,
you
he's
know.
a great bloke, and he's surprisingly cheap too. But basically, all the old Silvestri stuff, like Darkness and Witchblade and Spawn, he's worked with all of them. Like, if you look at the books, he wasn't the main artist, but his name is on almost all of them. It's crazy.
Darkness.
I didn't
fantastic. I love Darkness.
Yeah. I have a bunch of the Darkness, and I didn't even know who he was until Roger told me about it. And I was like, wait a minute, what? And I pulled out all the old books and started looking through them. And yeah, no shit. Like, I've been a fan of his since I was a kid. I just didn't know it.
So Skip's got PTSD apparently from being beaten with the wretch.
Yeah. No, I don't blame him. That shit fucked his face up.
It was a vicious and unprovoked attack.
Yeah.
Justice
Vicious
for Skip,
and
justice, no peace.
unprovoked.
No wrench, no peace. Hashtag resist.
Bancroft.
I was always impressed with the way that the Batman Darkness crossover, it wasn't referred to in continuity in the Darkness. I suppose they couldn't because of licensing reasons. But Jackie was so influenced by Batman in the crossover that when he come back to his own story, when Jackie come back to the Darkness story, he said, I'm going to try not to kill anymore. I'm going to try and be a better class of person, a hero rather than this hitman. Like, Batman has such a profound influence on him that it actually affected the canon storyline. I always thought that was really cool.
Yeah, speaking of Darkness crossovers, I actually just recently finished reading Superman and the Darkness. Don't ask me why.
That's a weird combination.
Yeah, it was very weird. And it's a whole thing about you know, how the Darkness story, how he's involved with the mafia and all that. Like, how much do you guys know about all that? Yeah, you know that?
I read the first arc.
Well, yeah, that's all you really need to know, right? If you know who he is, that's enough. He moves to Metropolis to try and take over the mafia and the mob and everything in Metropolis. And yeah, Superman obviously.
Let's be real. There shouldn't be a mafia in Metropolis. Like,
well,
really.
yeah, there kind of isn't. So as soon as that guy shows up, he kind of like murders. It's like a small gang, you know, like cliche Italian mafia in a restaurant sort of thing. And he kind of he goes in there and he just messes them all up real quick. And so he gets Superman's attention by like the third page of the first issue. So, but yeah, and it was really good. So when you said Batman crossed with the Darkness, I was like, oh no way! I was reading something with the Darkness just the other day.
The Batman crossovers are fantastic. Batman Spawn, Batman Punisher, Batman Darkness. It's often really
Batman
cool
Predator.
He's just so,
Batman
Predator. Because half of them are good and half are So he's so resolute though, Batman. Like he turns up and he's completely outclassed. All these dudes with all these powers, and they're like, "You need to back off, man. You need to pull your head." And he's just like, "Nah, I'm Batman." But I got you outgunned, outnumbered. We're bigger, we're badder, we're tougher. Nah. He doesn't even have an argument. It's just nah. Probably my favorite Batman crossover, aside from Batman Spawn back in the 90s, which is just brilliant. And I can't believe I don't own a physical copy anymore. I have to track that down on eBay. Is Batman and Planetary. If you ever get a chance to read that, Planetary, I think, is probably the best it's not exactly mainstream superheroes. So if you take it,
I have no idea what it is.
No, it's Warren Ellis. It's like I can't even. And I can't even explain it. And you know how I am with words. If I can't explain it, it's just big concept stuff. So they're excavators of history. They uncover the truth throughout history. So if you can imagine most superhero comics, Godzilla, King Kong, Tarzan, Sherlock Holmes, Dracula, all that stuff was true, but it's hidden in the background of our world. There was a Superman, but he was never made public. And and these guys are uncovering that truth, and it's this whole story. It's only like 27 issues or something for the whole run, but it's just absolutely amazing. Probably the best overall run of a comic I've ever read. And there's this one issue where they cross over into Batman's world, into like they go to their version of Gotham, and they accidentally merge over into Batman's version, and they have to contend with all different versions of Batman. So like Adam West Batman, Dark Knight Batman, and then right at the end, there's this like ultimate pure version of Batman that's all the best elements of all the Batman throughout time put together into one like shining knight in shining armor that just is completely resolute and completely incorruptible and cannot be defeated. And they're all like, now we see why you exist in so many worlds, and now we see why, despite being just a man, you have such an impact on the worlds around you because you are this living avatar of justice. It's just it's a fantastic bloody. Warren Ellis wrote it. You can tell he just really gets Batman as much as he hates Superman.
Yeah,
he just really, really gets.
How cool
he's a good writer when he wants to be.
Yeah.
How cool is that name?
Welcome.
We
were talking about
Comic.
Mothman yesterday.
How cool is that name?
King Toad Comics.
King Toad. That's cool.
Welcome
to ComicsMATE. Welcome to ComicsMATE.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing with the Mothman stuff. The artwork.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what we said, but I know it was positive. So
in the Mothman is like an urban legend in America, and one of the
I've watched all kinds of
Mothman
documentaries. Apparently, all over. Apparently, apparently it was proven to be an owl, though. Although, I don't buy that.
Fun. That's no fun.
Yeah, that's no fun. No fun at all.
No. Somebody's got a real simple, like Occam's razor, like, it's most likely it was an owl. Get out. What? Go.
Yeah.
Walk away. Yeah. We're not doing this.
Exactly.
The world is a much more fun place.
Because, apparently it's, the size of a man. It's giant. And...
I mean, it's a great opportunity to have like a force of nature, predatory type, like avenging type thing.
I really like it.
King Toad, have you got a digital tier? I'm sure I looked at your campaign. Have you got a digital tier? Because I'm thinking you don't.
He wants to review it.
Sand Crane, that sounds like that. Well, yeah, I mean, I will. If it's digital, I'll back it and I'll review it. If you're not digital,
then you're gonna have to send Kemosabe a digital copy.
I can't help you. You can send me a digital one if you want me to review it.
I've been telling everyone to do that lately. I swear I'm going to get the Lucent sent to you for free on digital.
I'm backed up at the moment. I've got like 6 books I got to review from people, because if somebody approaches me and says, "Hey man, can you review my book?" it jumps to the head of the line. And right now I've got 6 books at the head of the line I've got to get through.
Twitter. I saw someone tagged you on Twitter just the other day.
So I try to review everything that I get asked to review, and people are really good. Even when I'm, I said, here it falls down in these areas. People say thanks for the review. Like I did Raven a little while ago, and I said, this is okay about the art, but generally the art's not ready for prime time. He said, thanks, man. That's true. I'm just doing the best I can, and I hope I get better. Same thing with that Wahid comic that got my channel nuked. I said, honestly, the art's not ready for prime time. It's pretty amateur in a lot of ways. And he said, okay, thanks. I'm going to try and get better. Thanks. There's only a few reviews I've done where people either haven't acknowledged it at all or have had a negative reaction to it. And it's funny because they were all ones that they didn't ask for it. Like I've backed their book and I've just reviewed it because that's what I do. And when I tagged that creator in, those creators were either negative about it or didn't acknowledge it at all because I suppose they didn't like what I had to say. But I found the people who do ask for a review does tend to respond really graciously. And some books. Well, that's right. They want feedback. You just want that interaction. We've been saying that for ages. You talk to anybody who's making a book, anybody in like ComicsGate, crowdfunded, any comics, say, what do you really want? Aside from making money off it and doing this as a career, what do you really want?
Asked and answered, Lee. Asked and answered. Thank
you. Thanks, King Toad. Let me know. I'm sure I'm following you on Twitter if you want to review. And if you want me to review it before your campaign ends, see if you can, because I find sometimes having a really...
Yeah, you did that for Mary Boys, didn't you? Because I backed Mary Boys because of your review.
Yeah. And like I'm not saying, I've only got like 140 something subscribers right now, but it's more people watch it than I subscribe.
You're 140 now. Bloody hell.
Yeah. I picked up a few more because the other day, a few more.
That's why he doesn't. That's why he doesn't come on the show all the time.
Nah.
He's too big for us now. Yeah, that's how it is. He doesn't need the streams anymore.
He drinks that champagne now. He's not too good for just regular old beer. Friends in high places.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Do we want to watch this trailer or what?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, where are you finding all these new ones? This is another one
I don't know. I just went to Indiegogo and it's the second one on the thing.
I look at this one today. The other pictures look great, but the actual in-comic art doesn't look so great. So
really?
that cover, that cover's not great. You have a look at these covers.
Play the trailer first. Don't wreck it for me. I'm not looking. Play the trailer first, and then we'll see the inside pages.
I think it's like 9 issues, and you can get like all 9 issues for like $40 Australian. So it's like $170 American.
Scrolling down.
Keep scrolling, Kels.
I don't want to see this pages. Fuck that, I'm looking away.
That reminds me of Adam Warren, or Daniel Warren. One of the Warrens who does the anime stuff.
Thumbnail. That one on the thumbnail reminds me of Fatal. But like Fatal's, like poor man's Fatal.
No, I don't know.
Let's watch.
Let's watch it.
In 2018, we released Kinetic. Johnny developed superpowers and decided he could do better than his city's current hero. Now he's mastered his powers, beat the bad guy, and got the girl. Now what?
I can't hear what he's saying because the music's too loud.
I can hear all right.
Thank you for checking out this Indiegogo campaign. I'm Bill Colomb, and I'm the writer and creator of Kinetic. I'm also the host of the Under the Mask podcast. But enough about me. Let's talk about what we're really excited about, Kinetic. When a foe from Kinetic's past is up to no good, there's only one man who can stop him. But is Kinetic a match for a hit squad that's fully armed and ready for him? We'll find out all that and more in Kinetic Identities #1. I am so excited to bring you this book. We've got some awesome reward tiers, including a few Kickstarter exclusives. And this book ends with a twist reveal that will make your jaw drop.
Well, not anymore, because now I'm expecting it.
That's a lot of fun for me. This is the first time Kinetic will be made available to international backers. This is my first time offering variant covers on the release date, including variants by comic superstars Jason Metcalf and Freddie Williams.
Yeah, that's who it is.
Is that the interior art? Because I don't mind any of that. Like, I haven't seen anything that's ugly so far. I would be
Good on
fine
you,
with
Lee.
any.
Lee ruined it for you.
I know.
That's
I'm
my
sitting here
job.
waiting.
I review comics. That's what I do.
Ruin things that we
No,
love.
Lee, you ruined people's hopes and dreams.
No.
Hey, thanks again for checking out this Indiegogo campaign. What I want you to do now is scroll down, pick out the reward that you want to receive, and let's get Kinetic in your hands today.
Don't tell me how to live my life. Okay. I had no problems until the very end there when they started mispronouncing Kinetic for his entire like theme song, little jingle thing that he's got going.
Just about everything in that video he did right. Like that should be taken apart and studied as what to do right when you're making a video. A little bit about himself and what he's done, but not too much. Just straight on, get on with it. Like, he probably even went a little bit longer than he should have, but he just said, this is me, this is what I've done, this is what I'm doing. Get on with it straight away. Plenty of artwork and right at, and what you get right at the end, he's got that call to action. It's not just thanks for looking at my campaign. It's like, thanks for looking at my campaign now. Scroll to the bottom, pick out the one you want, and let's make it happen. Yes, when you're doing that, King Toad's right. That end jingle needs to go. That was atrocious. But he's definitely got the right idea with this video. I think more people could benefit from having a look at this.
So before we move too far ahead, what King Toad said in the comment before that too, creators hate negative reviews, but you need the feedback, bad or good.
Yeah,
that is 100% true. Like, I'm like, what's the one thing that I say every time I show you guys anything? I'm like, rip it to pieces.
Yeah, that's right. You are merciless with your own work. You're your own harshest critic.
What are you talking about, Dean? You get upset every time I say meh.
I hate you. Shut up.
You put a pitch in the group chat and I'm like, meh.
You've never once said anything nice. You think I didn't notice? I noticed.
Just trying to break your confidence.
The confidence is all for show, mate. But Lee's right. Like, I absolutely hate everything I draw. I'm like, yeah, this is great. And then I'm at home going, fucking, it's terrible. Why can't I draw as good as this guy?
Yeah, it's a part of the
like
artist.
Brett Booth and Kenneth Rockefort, they make me want to break things.
I saw a Brett Booth piece today and I got mad. I was like, screw that guy. Nobody should be allowed to be able to draw. That's not. He's going to turn me into a communist. He's like, nobody should be allowed to have all that talent. He needs to redistribute that talent to other people who deserve it.
Yeah. I know exactly how that feels. He's great though. He's good for a laugh. And he actually always responds to everyone. He's very active on Twitter, which is always good. Like, he's not calling any of us Nazis, even though we've called him all kinds of names.
So that first cover there, I think that's the guy who does the interiors, and it's not.
So that first cover makes me think of Superman. This cover here makes me think of Captain Marvel.
Yeah, you get with the zigzag
oh my God.
and the red gloves.
Am I right? Like the way the cape is, it makes and the swooping pose. There was a Captain Marvel cover like that.
The painterly colored style, even.
Yeah, that makes me think of Captain Marvel.
Whereas I really like the Freddie Williams second cover. Like, I love his stuff and I really like that cover, but it doesn't actually look like the same character. The hair's different, the costume looks different. Like, it just doesn't look like him at all.
Yeah, it's different colors.
Like, his hair's lighter, it's longer.
I hadn't noticed that yet at all, but I guess I don't recognize him. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever seen the character.
Actually, King Toad's just talking about the K emblem. It's also making me think of Ms. Marvel with that big lightning bolt. Think about
it's like a cross between Ms. Marvel and Captain Marvel.
And it's like you picked the exact Ms. Marvel colors. Like even the tones of the blue and the red. Like, that's not Superman blue, that's not Superman yellow. That's gold and that same sort of muddy blue that
it's like rose gold, Rose gold.
Yeah, it probably wasn't done on purpose, but it's unfortunate because nobody wants to make association with Ms. Marvel.
Well, what is that? What is that third cover? Because I think that third cover is definitely the worst. Because from where I'm sitting, like, how I always sit on the far end of my room, like, I couldn't even tell until you just zoomed in. I couldn't even tell what that picture was.
So even though it's the best artwork of the three, the character doesn't look like the character, and it's hard to actually tell what's going on from a distance. At least the one in the middle. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The hair's different.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when it's all about, visual, it's a visual medium. It's all about that immediate recognition that on being on brand. This cover is not on brand.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'll probably pick up the $5 Identities issue 1 tier. Like there's a big catch-up bundle there, but it's like $25. Once you convert, it's like $40. I'm like, I could buy a pack of miniatures for $40. I'm not spending $40 on 9 digital comics that I'll never actually own.
That's right.
And I don't need 9 of them to review it. I just need one. I need the one $5 issue, and I'll review that.
Well, I agree with what you're saying.
This one here. See, I don't mind this cover. I kind of like that cover. Just it looks like classic superhero.
Like nothing too like super egregious, just a bunch of minor. It's all minor little things that are bothering me so far. So yeah, I'm just waiting on these interior pages that Lee's warned us to pick.
They're pretty bad.
Lee's just pissed and salty that his artist's laptop shit itself. So now he's just taking it out on everybody else.
I don't even saw. I pointed out to Lee just the other day. I don't think you even seen it though. He's actually hired the Rob Willis of indie artists who
Rob Liefeld.
Rob Liefeld, that's it. Rob Willis, fuck. If he'd hired Rob Willis, his book would, only have 10 or so pages done right now.
Oh,
Rob Liefeld, he's he's dodging feet, and it's actually. I was looking at it again today, because I keep looking at that cover for reference, right? And it's actually masterful. It's incredibly creative the way he has managed to hide almost every single foot on that entire page.
It's a skill.
Yeah, it's a skill.
It's cool.
Yeah,
I do like it. I do like this thing here.
Yeah.
Why? What am I reading?
The two tick ones. Yeah, does give you a little bit of confidence.
I like the tagline. It's just like The Boys, only a lot less gory and a lot more optimistic. So it's nothing like The Boys at all.
Yeah, I like The Boys.
Which is good because The Boys is depressing. Like I'm glad I read it because it's an experience and I've read it and I've seen it and I've added that to my repertoire. I don't really like Derek Robertson's art for starters, but it's just really mean. I'm in the mood for positive and wholesome and uplifting these days. So if this is like a good old school Bronze Age type. Like I've talked about this before. I don't know if I've talked about it with you guys. There's on Netflix. There's a show called Stretch Armstrong, which is based off that old Stretch Armstrong toy. And it's this kid that gets elastic powers, and 2 of his mates get sort of elastic powers as well, and they become like this little superhero team. It's like this Netflix cartoon. There's 3 seasons or 2 seasons of it, and it's just so wholesome and so positive, and it's just classic. Just classic storytelling. Like it could have been written by Stan Lee. Like it's just so classic. The beats and the way the heroes overcome problems and girl trouble and the new villain, and then the ally turns out to be an enemy, and an enemy turns out to be a misjudged ally, and it's absolute classic storytelling. And there's this other show on Stan or Prime, I think, and it's called Falcon or something. And actually was created by Stan Lee, but it was written by like Ron Mars or Roger Stern or one of those old school dudes. And same thing, really classic storytelling. That the dude's there, and he's you can tell there's all these plot links being laid down with his dad and his mom and his dad's company, and the partner of the company is going to sell them out and steal the technology, and then the kid gets hurt and he gets the technology implanted in him and gets powers and gets avenges his father and that sort of thing. But it's just all Bronze Age goodness. Nobody dies, and I need more of that. Because there's just too much of the deconstruction. I want this classic storytelling.
It brings you back to the Rebirth Superman 2016, the Tomasi and Jurgens run. How, like, I don't know if you've read it, but like every issue you read, whether it was with his, like every issue you read, it made you feel warm and fuzzy inside. Yeah. And it was like, it made you if it took you 2 minutes to read it, it made your whole day better. And then as soon as Bendis come on and just completely within a couple of issues, just destroyed it, ripped it apart, and made you absolutely hate the world and hate comic books.
That sounds like Bendis, yeah. Like
Bendis just completely went, and like it could only be Bendis that could destroy something that was so uplifting and so good to turn it to complete shit.
Yeah, and to do it so totally as well. Not even just to take the shine off, to make you go up full 180.
Yeah.
And like when you read Tomasi and Jurgens Superman, like it was that good. As soon as you finish reading it, you've gone to the comic shop, you've picked it up, you've gone home, you read it, and I live like 45 minutes out of town. It's like I'm going to buy another comic book.
Yeah, because I want that same experience again.
Just because it's like I want another one, even if it's a different book. I want another comic book because it just made you love comics. Whereas Bendis makes me want to stab my eyes with a fork.
I remember being a kid and going down the shop. I'd get my allowance. I'd go down the newsagents and pick up all 4 issues of Spider-Man, $2.50 a piece, in the old newsprint. Mark Bagley doing the artwork, and it's, and you just love it. As soon as you're done, like you said, you wanted more. You just wanted more comics. There was never enough comics. You just didn't have enough money to buy all the comics you could read if you had the chance.
Bendis' Superman books are worse than a poke in the eye with a blunt stick.
Bendis has ruined pretty much every character I've ever loved. It's like, oh yeah, I'm really enjoying this run, and then Bendis is coming on now, so it's like, okay, cool, I'm not buying this anymore.
And it's not even like we're doing this as trendy to hate Bendis thing. He's just legit. If he ever was good, and I didn't really like his Ultimate Spider-Man. I thought it was a bit too self-impressed. Like you can sort of see him there.
I love being negative. I'm happy to share all my negative comments.
You're sitting there behind the keyboard, just being so
trash. What? You know who else is absolute trash? Fucking Jeff Loeb. Everyone loves Loeb because he's written a couple of good books. I say outside of Long Halloween and Hush, he's got nothing but crap.
I think he did Superman, Batman, Public Enemies, which was in the Superman Batman team up book. That was good.
He did do that. Yeah, okay. I'll give you that. That's all right. I've actually got it on my shelf, so you can't say anything.
Yeah, but that's not like that's not a life. That's not a canon-changing story. It's not a life-changing story. It's you got 2 big name properties. They're colourful, drawn by Ed McGuinness, who's just an absolutely amazing artist, fighting all their enemies all at once and taking down President Luthor and getting in a fight with Captain Marvel and Hawkman. And it's just like, you can't not write that well. Yeah, you can't screw that up.
They even made a beauty out of it, and that was fantastic as well.
It was good. But so, did you see that interior art, Dean? Like, are you happy with that? What do you think of that interior art?
Yeah, it was good. I didn't mind it. It was all right.
Really?
You're just a bitter old man. Like, you're just a bitter old man.
I agree. Do you want to put it back on the screen so I can
look at it, Dean?
More official?
Fine.
In general, I was leaning more on the side of Kim Sabi, but without me.
He just left. He's left the chat. He's like, screw you guys. Nobody disagrees with Calloway and his kingdom.
All right, well, so much for that then. But yeah, from what I did see, it looked terrible. I would have pointed some things out. He's back. Welcome back.
I dropped myself. I hit the wrong button.
Let's go pop out for a bit. I'll be back in 30.
I was in the wrong tab, and I was in the StreamYard tab, not the Indiegogo tab. Just wait.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking, shit, everyone's been dropped out. What was it called again? Kinetic. Yeah, Lee's just a bitter old man now. Eh? He's just a bitter old man.
Oh yeah, he is getting up there in age.
He's been watching Twitter too much.
It's great. Me and you are both sitting here at 30, just going, "Yeah, we're still young."
Yeah.
So show us these interior.
I didn't mind them. Like, I think I like it more because it makes me think of Superman. So I'm going to back it. But
for real,
yeah, I'll back it. But we all keep saying we want superhero books on indie books, so
we do.
I'll back it. I'll back it just to read it. I'm not buying any mainstream books. So.
That image annoyed me. That wasn't an interior page though. Like, let's see a full page.
Find the page where it's got like this. Look at this one. Go up to that bald dude's head. Go to that first panel, that bald dude's head.
Terrible.
I wouldn't publish that.
It's terrible. And then even in the very second panel right next to it, the first panel, he looks like a skinny head man, like skinny neck, skinny fucking face on a dude. And in the next panel, it's clearly an overweight man. So it doesn't look like the same dude, even though they're 2 panels right next to each other.
I'd sack the artist too, because these guys don't have heads.
I think they're probably not supposed to.
What happened?
Drop the ball.
Nice car, though. Very nice car.
Is it a 3D trace model though? Look at that grille and the lights. I feel like
I was complimenting Skip's car the other week, and he said the same thing. It's all 3D models nowadays. No one can draw anything.
I can't even tell when they say 3D models. I can't even tell. So
it's just some of the lines like on that grill and that.
It's still a drawing, but it's just that perfect
Yeah, it doesn't have
it's not
soft organic lines that you get.
There's no
It's
style.
like rather than drawing a straight line, they use a ruler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only use rulers for like buildings and bricks and stuff like that, you know? Otherwise, everything's going to get that slight exaggeration, that slight comic book feel to it. And that includes cars.
Yeah.
Like, look at that second panel with his grimacing face up the top there. And, you know, like, that's just really, and I'm not trying to be mean, but it's just really amateurish.
Yeah, but he's got no head.
The other dude with the head.
If you're looking at a dude with no head, you're not going to have a good look on your face, are you?
Why is he missing a head? Is that head going to be, you know, is that like a put yourself in the book tier? Is that why the heads are missing?
That's probably what it is. You probably, yeah, I'd say you're right.
That's the only possible reason I can think of.
Well, because they've got flesh-colored hands. If they were,
are we sure the artist even pull that off?
Digitally, probably. Greg's got an interesting point. Just he says there's a lack of shading detail. Like he's right. It's just very much outline heavy. And then when you look at the shadow on the guy's face that's in the car, it's just blocky and very amateurish as well. And look at the third panel there. Like, look how wonky those faces are, and they're just not sitting in the right space with each other. It just all looks assembled and put together.
Does the guy in the front seat look like he's sitting further forward than the guy in the driver's seat?
He does.
I think it's a lot bigger, but yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
like the seats don't look. Yeah. Well, then again, I'm not a tall guy, so I have my seat back too. So.
Yeah.
No, it's because of the seats. The seats don't even look like they're about the same size.
It's like poor man's Dylan.
Next panel too close to each other. Look at how small the gap is in chairs. That is way wrong.
He just shifted right over, like, hey buddy,
mirror is wider than the gap in chairs.
There's police behind us. You wanna maybe put you down on the pedal a little bit, make us go a little bit faster. Just get away from the police a little bit, buddy. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. And I'll pay $5 for it and I'll review it, and I'll say all that when I do my review. But yeah, I'm not gonna buy the 9. If it had interior artwork like the covers, I'd buy the 9-pack, the digital 9-pack, and enjoy the story. And maybe there's a great story in here, a great Bronze Age type story, like Greg's talking about, you know, hero's journey and that sort of thing. I don't know. I can't enjoy that artwork the whole time. It feels amateurish. It feels like something somebody does and goes to the local comic book store and says, "Hey man, can you put my comic on the shelf? Can I sell my comic through you?" And he's like, "Yeah, okay, I suppose."
Look at that guy in the mask, in the burglar. That one, that's garbage.
Yeah. It's just not ready for prime time, and a bit more. And I know I say this a lot, but a bit more line variation as well. Everything seems very flat.
You know what it is? I see it a lot lately. Yeah, is you get these artists, like they're usually, you know, amateur artists, that they know how to draw, okay, and they're pushing themselves. All right, and like that's a good thing. Like, don't get me wrong. Like the way I'm saying it at first, it sounds like it was a bad thing, but they're pushing themselves with everything at once, rather than going, okay, like for example, I did this years and years and years ago, right? Like that's why you'll never see me draw a bad hand or a bad foot. It's because I made a point to learn how to draw those things years ago. But if I was trying to learn both of those things at the same time, it would just mess me up. And that's what you see here. You see them trying to pick different angles. You see them trying to draw things they've never drawn before. You see them trying to draw backgrounds and all these other things that they have clearly never done before.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's what the issue is. It's, you know how to draw, but you don't know how to draw this. Like, I guarantee he's never done a person, like, scroll back up a little bit, like the next page above that, right there. See the side profile? He's probably only done a profile like that once or twice in his entire life before he had to draw that panel, and then the panel next to it as well. You know, like how many times do you think he's drawn that angle or even practiced that angle with anything ever? And I bet it's not very often. And I only recognize these. That's the kind of shit that I used to do as a 14-year-old.
That's what it feels like. It feels like a teenager, like a talented teenager who's raw and rough and hasn't mastered that stuff yet, and needs a few more years. And you know, the only way to get better is by doing. So you have these rough comics. Not everybody can through his first book really. What?
He should focus on one thing at a time. That's what my advice would be.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you've got someone like Ryan Otley or someone who did Invincible, which has got a very similar visual style to this Kinetic guy, I mean, it looked fantastic, and you'd make bank on it. But as it is, I can't go beyond that $5 tier because the money's just not the art's not really inspiring me.
Yeah, and I don't blame you. But yeah, I would be interested to see where this guy is a few years from now.
Yeah,
you know, and he should really just try and focus on one, or even two. But as of right now, it looks like he is overreaching. You should always push yourself. If you think you've gone as far as you can go, you might as well give up now because you're wasting your bloody time. I have never once been happy with anything I've drawn in my entire life, and it's always pushed me to become better and better. So, I would be very interested to see where he is, in the next couple of years. But he needs to focus more, on what it is that you want next.
Otherwise, he'll plateau, and he'll still be drawing like this in 10 years' time, and that'd be a real shame.
Was it you or was it Skip that has that one friend that has been drawing the same exact years? Yeah.
Been 20 years since we've been out of high school, and he's still drawing the same as he did when he was 18, and he draws more than I do.
I think I'm definitely going to pay the extra $30 a page for a bit better artist.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth it in the long run.
After every drawing, like a bloody saying, mate.
I mean, the difference between this guy having this art and getting a better artist is what stopped me from backing at a tier $5 versus $40.
Exactly.
He could have made 8 times the money off me. And I know there's, a scale here, but 8 times the money off me. If he'd had someone that was like Ryan Otley with that sort of really bold, modern style that he's got with this same sort of content, I mean, it's wholesome. He's at the fair. He's, he's doing the typical Superman, open the shirt. He's going to get his costume, everything I want. That's just bloody ugly. If he'd paid someone that was a bit more experienced, he'd be making 8 times the money off me, and I'm sure he'd be doing a lot better overall as well.
The book comes across as me as like a cross between a Superman book and a Spider-Man book.
Yeah, I think it's a really good way to put it.
Yeah, it's like he's going for like the Spider-Man style art. Like, how Spider-Man's only got that one style that seems to work for Spider-Man.
Yeah, everyone sort of mimics
Ryan Otley style.
McFarlane and Larson mimicked McFarlane and vaguely mimicked Larson, and it went on from there.
Yeah. Our comments are full of wisdom today too.
I reckon.
These blokes spitting nothing but wisdom. I agree with absolutely everything.
That's because Skip left the chat.
I wonder how Frager did that. How do you go from being mediocre to being...
You practice every day and you stop smoking so much weed.
I don't know. I've said this before.
That's what I did in my drawing. Like tenfold. Yeah. That's what Frager did, and it's the exact same thing.
I don't know. I just don't feel like it'd work for me. I feel like I've said this to you before, Dean. I've got so many flaws built into my system now, into the way that I draw for so many years, that if I practice, all I'd be doing is practicing those mistakes. I need something structured and someone who knows more than me to be able to say this is what you're doing wrong.
I know what you mean. I feel the same way. That's why I specifically ask what it is I'm drawing wrong. Because nowadays when I look at my own stuff, I can't see the issues anymore. If I've made a mistake, it means that I've probably made it on purpose and I don't think it is a mistake. And so I completely get what you're saying when you say that you can't pick out what you need to practice and things like that. I completely get that.
Yeah.
Completely understandable. I'm sure every artist everywhere, once they hit a certain point, they understand what you're talking about when you say that.
Yeah, it's good that King Toe's talking about how Liam gave him some feedback and he's incorporated that. It's great to be able to get that feedback, and it's he's fortunate he's got the time. But he's also fortunate he's got you don't have to listen to every bit of feedback. You have to listen to it, but you don't have to agree with it. So I've had feedback on some of my books and people said, "Oh, look, I didn't like this, I didn't like that." I'm like, but either I don't think
I agreed with most of the things Liam said about mine, but then I told him about remember were you even there? That he said the long tails on my speech bubbles, he said that's wrong. And I said, actually, that's a stylistic choice that I like. Thanks, mate. So,
ultimately you've got to like it as well, and you'll find your audience. And if you incorporate every change everybody else wants you to do, it's not, it's going to be less your work. You won't be as happy with it. And if you've got a vision and you incorporate and you compromise on everything that other people want, it won't fit your vision anymore, and it's going to be worse off for it.
Yeah. Have you guys read Cyberfrog Blood Hunter yet?
No.
I read it with you guys. You guys knew me before I had ever read it. Remember?
Right. What did you think about the font Ethan used for when the Chelsea talks? Do you know how he had that bubbly dotted font?
Yeah,
that was
I
probably
remember.
one. That was one
You
thing I
hate
did not like about Cyberfrog because I had to read it. I had to read every bubble twice to make sure I read it properly because the font had dots in it, so you couldn't tell if you were reading the right letter.
I remember when you said that to us back when I first read it, and because I was thinking that, I was going into it thinking I wasn't going to understand it, but I actually could read it perfectly fine. And I think that's because I've read so many Predator books that have that that weird Predator writing.
Yeah, that was that was one thing I didn't like. That was the thing. There's probably a lot of people that liked it, but I didn't really like it because I found myself reading shit twice to double check that I read it right.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say I liked it, but like it didn't cause me any issues or anything. But yeah, just good or bad. Like it was just a thing.
Have we gone through Only Death Can Save Us on the channel yet? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
Liam did a huge spruik of it the other day. He spent like 2 hours, 3 hours going over this with the creator, trying to give it a really big push.
So it's a CG book?
Yeah, but the sad thing is when Liam was doing the big push on it a couple of days ago, I think it was about 11 grand, and now it's not quite at 13. So despite all that work and despite all the retweeting, it hasn't even managed to kick in another 2K.
Well, maybe we can point out why.
I'm not really sure why. I think it could be that, and this is what I was thinking earlier, he's going for that big Jack Kirby cosmic Marvel Thor Lady Sif, big planets versus planets, this realm but that realm, which is all great stuff that we love, but we don't know any of the characters, so we don't care.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
Like look at these guys. Who's Mr. T up the front there with the face tattoo? I don't know.
Is there a trailer?
Yeah.
The main character, is that Death?
Oh, I don't know.
It's like only Death. Is that Death as in the Grim Reaper? There is a lot of questions. So
there is a Reaper. There is a Reaper's hook here. So
it might be awesome. It might be some legitimate, epic, grand tale that we're all going to be better off for reading.
I wouldn't want to headbutt his shoulder pad, just for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I don't mind either. He's got a like a classic like Ghost Rider, Spawn, spikes and red skull face. All the stuff that I loved from when I was a kid.
Let's see if we like the trailer, eh?
Yeah, we'll talk shit about it afterwards.
$20 billion.
Booyah! 70 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Let's go back.
Oh, that dinosaur looks like
as the second age gave away to the third. One last great war raged between Satana's forces of cruel chaos, who had ruled for a sliver of eternity, and the forces of order, who sought to remake things anew. The Supreme called her warlords the Pillars of Creation. Their purpose was not to bring apocalypse, but to welcome forth the new age. Over time, their true purpose would be forgotten, for such is the fate of legends, and only their names would be remembered. War, famine, pestilence, and death.
That sound is eerie.
Damn, I love demons. Wretched things.
You preach to the converted, brother.
It needs music.
Their vile numbers seems
the complete opposite of the other trailers that we watch. This one has a voiceover thing. It's the complete opposite of the trailers that we normally watch. This one has a great voiceover and everything, but it has no music. So I'm just kind of sitting here.
I'm trying to figure out who the voiceover sounds like. I've watched a movie or something with a similar voice. It's driving me crazy.
6,666 by my count.
It's just some guy.
Have numbers, but their arrogance will yet be their undoing. Mark my words, brothers.
You speak true, Sister Pestilence. Even now, our mistress builds a prison to house them. A prison of love. She asks only that we lead them there. This is the word.
Then let us draw succor from it.
And thus it came to pass that the third age began with the vanquishing of evil and the renewal of life. But evil is patient. It clings to the dark places and waits for its moment to strike.
We shall know glory this day, my brothers.
What was won that day was a battle, not the war. That would come later.
I can't understand any of the whispering.
Exclusively in Indiegogo. Only death can save us.
I understood that last bit. Alright. Well, it's a shame Kimasabi's gone because he actually had some thoughts about this beforehand. But yeah, I actually did like this. And from what Lee was saying before he left about the whole, like the
Where'd
whole,
Kimo go?
He's gone. He said he had to leave.
Jesus, I know who the voiceover sounds like. It sounds a bit like Jason O'Mara, who does the Batman in the animated DC movies, but a little bit deeper voice.
I have no idea. It might have been. I doubt it though. That would have been pretty cool though. But yeah, I actually don't mind that at all. What was I saying? The Kirby, like it has like a real Kirby classics, like Stan Lee sort of vibe. And like
I like how he had the voiceover read the speech bubbles. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. Like as I said, I was really enjoying the voiceover, but it needed some like epic background music, because it just sounded like we had taken a camera. Like obviously the wind and everything was sound effects as well, but it sounded like they had just taken a camera outside and recorded the two people talking to each other, and then that was it. That was obviously not what they had done, but it needed some. It had atmosphere. It needed some, music to go with it. But other than that, I think it actually looks really good. I'm surprised it's not funded yet. So you can get out a full screen and have a look at, like, what's this on? Is this all good? Is this doing okay? Let's have a gaze.
12 grand AU.
Oh, yeah, so he's fine. He's fine. All good. He's got 3
sub. Thanks for the sub too, William. Much appreciated. Hope you enjoy the channel.
You won't. But yeah, Only Death Can Save Us actually looks pretty good. Scroll down so we can see the prices and we can tell some people about these tiers and see what we got going.
80 plus pages, so it's spine bound. Looks like is it a hardcover? It looks like it. 60-page story, concept art, character gallery. Only Death Can Save Us, a Bronze Age inspired cosmic fantasy romp bringing together action and pathos as an ancient elemental known as Death leaps from his eternal retirement to help a young soul protect her loved ones in her world.
Well, he's nailed that aesthetic that he's going for. Absolutely nailed it when I saw those interior pages and a bunch of that in the trailer. That perfect. Nailed it, mate. Nailed it. Whoever you are.
Like the other book the other day, the art's not my thing with that, like that Island 19, but with the story, it's actually, it's still back.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So even if it's not your thing, you don't think it looks bad though, do you? You're like, oh yeah, that's
no. Yeah. No, it's just what I normally wouldn't draw me in, but it's still like after watching the trailer and stuff, it's definitely on the backlist to me.
Yeah, I think it looks good. Definitely a winner. We're having a much better show than the other, like yesterday and the other day. We've had nothing but stinkers come through here lately. We just end up roasting everything. So it's been good to see some good stuff today for once. Hell yeah. Literally the last, what was it? We had Mothman, and I think Beef Bros kind of got away with it because we found it so funny. But other than that,
then other than Robert.
Oh yeah, and Robert too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had 3 out of 20 books in the last 2 days that were good.
Like who does she remind you of? What's the character's name? Like that just looks cool.
She reminds me of Queen Cinder from Mortal Kombat. Sindel. Yeah. And yes, Beef Bros is just a meme. I want to like him though. I really want to like his stuff, but he's just so wrong.
Once you know his personality and stuff, it's
like I really want to like his book though, because he was so excited. He did everything right, and it's all the things that we say you should do, but then he, sneaks buzzwords in, like leftist. And
yeah, exactly. But no, I like this one. He's obviously he's from Europe too. By the looks of it.
And that old school comic art style is not something that is easily replicated either. You either draw that way or you don't.
I kind of like the flat colors he's used too, not like the new. You know how like when they're computer colored, they're real different colors. Whereas this makes you think of like an early '90s color.
Yeah, well, he's going for that aesthetic. He's deliberately trying to make it look like an old Kirby book, and as I said before, he's nailed it. Like it looks exactly like an old comic book, and there's heaps of people in ComicsMATE that love exactly that.
Yeah. So just the flat blues, the yellows, the reds, like just the standard colors that you would normally do with a pencil. He's got all like the old '90s trade dress and stuff as well, like splash pages and stuff. The plain yellow, narration boxes and stuff.
That yellow, that like lemony off pale lemon yellow, used to use in every. That was in every comic book back in the day. That reminds me.
It was, yeah. I don't know. The more I look at it, the more I love it.
This too. Let's be honest, right? Like they only had 2 different kinds of yellow:
bright yellow and off yellow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this looks cool. Dan Brereton. I'm not even sure who that is. Who's Dan Brereton? Mr. Calloway?
Where are you reading this?
Question in the comments. Greg Levitre. I don't even know how to pronounce your name. I've never tried to pronounce your last name, Greg.
Levita? Levita Loca?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Living La Vida Loca.
That's what we're going with from now on. Yeah. No, I don't even know who that is. So I may or may not be.
That's where Greg got his last name from. He's a Ricky Martin fanboy.
Yeah. Levite.
Yeah, I don't know who he is.
Yeah. Actually, it's a lot easier than it seems.
We're not picking on you, Greg. We're just.
I am.
If the guy was CG and he was mocking the SJWs, it would probably get him farther. But he also has to improve the quality of the book. Yeah, he's talking about Beef Bros. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. You don't need to be CG, And Kim Sabi would say the same thing. Like he backs books that look good, and I'm the same. I just want a good comic book. I don't give a shit about anyone's politics or anything like that anymore. And that's where ComicsMATE has been born, as far as I'm concerned. We just want good entertainment. It doesn't matter if it comes from the left or the right. I just don't want propaganda or to try and I don't want people to attempt to shame me or call me names or any of that crap. I just want some entertainment. Right. I want some escapism. I want my funny books, comics were fun, the way they should be.
Right, Dean, you can find a book.
Oh, I've got one left already. I've still got one left. It's been sitting here the whole time.
Oh, share it.
Yep. Not a problem, mate. Not a problem. This one that this guy is CG. I saw this guy on Michael's stream the other day.
Witch Hunter.
And yeah, it looks like a fun book. Although I'm not 100% sold
I
on the
did see
artwork.
this one. Yeah.
We're gonna have to look through this one. I'll have a close look now, and I'll let you know what I think as we go through it. But yeah, I was a little. I'm not sure yet. Like I was not 100% sold, but it doesn't look bad at all. Yeah, looks good enough for me to have chucked it up here. So let's have a look.
I think I looked at this one. The interior art's nothing like the covers.
Yeah, yeah.
Renowned witch hunter Alden is faced with the most dangerous quest of his life when a powerful witch emerges to threaten Grimsby. With the fate of his people hanging in the balance, Alden must unite with an unlikely ally to free Grimsby from the claws of evil. Don't miss this masterful tale from White Cat Comics.
Witch Hunter.
Okay, I didn't realize this was White Cat Comics. All right. Yeah, all good. But yeah, no.
Who's White Cat Comics?
It is a CGer. It's someone that we follow on Twitter and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a YouTube channel as well. I'm sure I'm subscribed to their YouTube channel. Either way, I don't know. It's late, okay? It's late. It's getting close to midnight. Just give me a break here, people. But yeah, that I remembered now too. Yeah, I really enjoy the artwork on the inside. It was the faces and style that they had chosen for the people because they're very cartoony, almost anime, that I didn't like. It was almost a juxtaposition as opposed to the monsters and the trees and the environment in the book. Hopefully they have some preview pages down here. Like, see, like I don't really like that face. For example,
I noticed that too, yeah.
There's another one that I do really like. You know, so it's kind of a back and forth. And see, like I really like all of this. Really like that. It's a real great environment, a great mood just from that image alone, you know. So I really like all of that. But then when it comes to their faces, you know, like that second panel, that middle one, that's pretty cool, minus the person. But the environment and everything's great. And yeah, I think that's just my stylistic preferences because, as I said, it's like an anime style face that I don't really like.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't like
too.
comic books. Like I'm a fan of anime. I love cartoons and things, but you know, I learn animation and shit. Like I must like it, but yeah, I don't like it in my comic books. I prefer my comic art to look like comic art and not manga or anime style. So like, but yeah, I really like the environments and the monsters and stuff. That's a great panel. Look at this bottom panel here. That's fantastic. But yeah, I don't know what it is. A variant covered by Vinny. Vinny's great. If you've read Through the Woods, or he's got a couple of books out now. But yeah, Vinny's done some great stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not 100% sold on this. But that's like that said, that's not me saying it's bad at all. You know, I don't think this looks bad. It's just not my style. Whereas usually I'm like, I love this or I hate this. This one's just like, yeah, this one looks cool. It's just I'm not really into it. But see, that looks great. But then that doesn't. And then that one next to it looks terrible. And then that one looks good. So I have mixed feelings. How does everyone else feel? How do you feel, Callaway? How's the chat feel?
Let's have a look. I don't mind it. It looks pretty good. Greg's also, I don't like the cartoon style. Yeah, see, I don't, yeah, cartoon style, I've never enjoyed it in sort of any comic book. I've never really, doesn't.
Kino Subway? And yeah, I agree. Like, but it doesn't look bad. Like I don't really know what to say because it sounds like I'm being really negative about it, but I'm not. Like I would probably recommend.
You are a negative prick when you want to be.
Yeah, I mean most of the time, but I'm trying not to be.
You are in lockdown though. You are in prison, so.
Yes, yeah, I'm in Melbourne, so we're still locked up. Ridiculous, I know. We have a 0.2 case or something. Like it's something ridiculous. It's not even 1%. But anyway, yeah. But this image here, I really like this one. This one's awesome looking, and I think that has a lot to do with the coloring though as well. I'm not 100% sure, but I really like that one. I have no complaints there at all. Yeah. But see, and then these ones, like it goes very cartoony, and that's what I don't like. It doesn't look bad. It's done well. So if you're into that cartoony style, this looks like a quality book for you. But this would be another one that I'd tell Lee to make a video for because I'm interested enough to see what it's about, but I probably wouldn't back it because it's not really my thing, you know, so I'd watch the reviews.
Yeah, I'd do the same. But everyone's, not all styles are for everybody, I suppose. You know.
But yeah, no, it definitely isn't bad at all. Again, they've got like, you know, Vinny Tartamel.
But then again, Vinny's doing a cover, so yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, like Vinny's not like super famous or nothing, you know, so it's not like
that's true.
That make them thousands and thousands of dollars. It's like Vinny has his fans, and as I said, I like Vinny's books. Like he was one of the Through the Woods was actually one of the first CG books that I ever backed, and it was the first one to show up. So
yeah, I missed out on that one, but the art looked freaking unreal.
I'm not sure if it's in demand or not, but it is great. It really is. It's a beautiful hardcover book, and they signed it. Yeah, it's good stuff. But anyway, yeah, Witch Hunter. So if you like it, back it. You can get the double deal. Digital. There's a digital copy, so Kim Sabi's getting it. And, you know, you can get the regular graphic novel, $25 with a manga cover, which is this cover here. This is the manga cover, which, you know, I actually really like that cover too. See,
the cover
I have mixed feelings about
it.
I have a lot of mixed feelings about this because, you know, I do like anime. You know, I have my favorite cartoons, my favorite animes, but I don't like manga. But then I back Xenotype. So, mixed feelings. But yeah, Witch Hunter, definitely in like the better category. I wouldn't call this a bad book at all. And if you're into it, definitely give it a go. And White Cat Comics is proven in the past, you know, like they've done stuff before. But yeah.
How the hell do we have 7 people in the chat? That's crazy.
I know. I'm not even one of them.
Yeah, I'm not one of them either. Sometimes I watch it just to boost the numbers.
No, I do that after the streams. Like I usually go on after to try and listen for things. Because yeah, in case you guys, I don't know who the 7 people in here are, but I make cartoons out of our random streams, and they're over on my channel. And yeah, I usually don't listen to our streams or anything until after all this.
You'll get a few snippets on the last couple because we've been picking on Lee a fair bit.
Yeah,
You'll get a few snippets.
Oh, they're backed up. You know that it's going to be weeks and weeks and weeks before anyone hears anything from like yesterday or the day before that. The next 3 episodes are from ComicsMATE 3, ComicsMATE 5, and ComicsMATE 7. So that's how old those clips are from. I cut them out.
This is number 12 now. We're at the number 12.
Yeah, and there was a big gap after 7.
Yeah.
So they were ages ago. But yeah.
I seen a book on Indiegogo a couple weeks ago that looked pretty cool, and I'm trying to remember which one it was. Have you backed Battle Brick Road yet?
No, I haven't. It's on my list though, but as soon as it went in demand, I was like, oh sweet, no rush. But I am getting that. Don't worry about that one. Big fan of I like the idea of it. I really like the idea of, you know, like a war-torn Oz. Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Too bad Lee. If Lee was here, he'd give us the counter argument to that because we know he disagrees on that. You know, he thinks there's nothing lazier than taking someone else's like, you know, an established IP and then using that to make a new book. He's like, why not just make your own characters? So we could have got a great rant out of him, but unfortunately, it's quite late, and he's a father. So yeah.
And he talks so fast, he probably wore himself out.
Oh, bad. Right?
Let's talk about this one.
What do you got now? Ah, classic. Yep.
This should be making millions.
Yeah, if you haven't backed this one yet, what the hell are you doing?
I haven't backed it yet. Let's watch the
If
trailer.
you're deciding whether or not you're gonna back Thomas Moria, well then you ain't CG. You all thought I was gonna say black, didn't I? All right,
Trying to be
play
like,
the track.
you're gonna get the channel struck. Talking about
No,
Biden and CG.
Joe Biden doesn't get struck.
Jesus.
And I'm Joe Biden.
And I approve this message. Is that Metallica? That sounds like Metallica.
I have no idea, but it might be. No, it wouldn't be. Yeah, not enough good things can be said about this one. We've spoken about this.
All he needs is a narrator thing over the top, but maybe he doesn't have that because he's in Brazil. Maybe
See, English isn't his first language, so it's not like he could have just done it himself. So, but yeah, Stefani is one of the best blokes that I've met in CG. Just full stop. He's super friendly. He's really helpful.
I sent him a message, but he never replied. So maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just.
It's just you. Because here I am saying that he's a great dude, and I've spoken to him a couple of times. Yeah, no.
He ignored me. What did I do?
It must be
is the ultimate urban fantasy featuring magical elements set in the real world. Thomas will be going up against supernatural beings such as vampires, shapeshifters, fairies, witches, sorcerers, angels, and demons. Sounds like Supernatural.
Sold.
2 years ago,
Sold.
Thomas More's wife, Miriam, was kidnapped by one of the 9 kings of hell. He's out for vengeance as he fights for love's very soul. Can he save her without starting a war with the dark supernatural world? Find out in Thomas Moira, issue 1.
Yeah. Thomas Moria is definitely ComicsMATE's Doctor Strange, Constantine.
Yeah, that's like Doctor Strange, isn't it?
Yeah. That is our sorcerer. The first CG sorcerer. Thomas Moria. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think there's many sorcerers out there in CG, is there?
I don't think so, no.
If there is, I haven't heard of him.
The gorilla is wicked, isn't it? The gorilla is crazy.
Yeah, Kinosabi. Kinosabi. Kino Subway. Yeah, you definitely should. I would love to watch that. We need to get him on here too. Me and Lee both speak to him enough that we should be able to get him on here. Skip does too. We're going to get Stefani on the stream, right? We'll do that for you guys. So make sure you subscribe.
Well, you'll have to ask him.
I will. I'm sure me, Lee, or Skip could easily get him on there.
See if we can get him
I'll
some
just
numbers.
talk to him. He'll be in Michael's chat tomorrow. I'll just be like, "Hey, Steph, you want to come on our show, mate?"
Yeah, that'd be cool. This is unreal. This is the first thing that he sort of put out, wasn't it? This whatever the hell this thing is. And,
yeah, that's that one that we. Yeah, that's a great picture. Except I still sit there. I stand by it. I don't care what any of you say. Why is there no room for its nose?
Yeah.
If Lee was here, he'd me to shut up right now because everyone told me to shut up when I said it. But the fact of the matter is that if he wasn't all rotted away, he would have a nose, and there would be no room for his nose in that helmet.
He'd have a bong nose under the nose piece.
And I've been saying that since the first time I saw it, and everyone just tells me to shut up. Oh, but yeah, I actually can't wait for this one. This one's going to be great. And
yeah, I'm definitely not getting a digital copy of this one.
Yeah, no, I'd never get the digital copies, unless I've only got the digital copy for one thing ever, and that was because there was no physical copy available, and that was Rags.
I got a digital copy of, I think, Billy Tucci's The Return of the Warrior, that Orgasm Girl, and another one. But yeah, normally I get the physical. Like, oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I really like that.
The Shadow.
I don't think he uses 3D models either.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, it's that little bit. Remember how I was saying it needs to be that little bit stylized? I'm not sure what it is. Yeah, that's that little bit stylized. I don't think he's tracing. I think he's copying pictures of cars at best.
He's doing all these colors and inkings too, isn't he? Like the color on that car.
I have no idea.
Like to get the light effect on that black car, like all the shadows and like the way the paint moves and stuff.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know how to attempt that. This guy is freaking. He's cool and scary at the same time. And every time I look at his eyeball, I think of a key slot. An old-fashioned key slot.
No, I assume that's going to be an entire page. That'll be a splash page. But yeah. I love everything about that. It's so even though it's just the monster with very little background, just a bit of smoke and stuff in front of it, but the weird speech bubble being used for its words, the font, the drawing, obviously, because bloody hell, Steph can draw, can't he? It's so perfect. It's just like Thomas Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
It looks great. Like I absolutely love that page. I've looked at that page more than once.
Imagine what he sounds like if it was a movie. What would he sound like?
Thomas Warrior. Something really great.
He'd sound like one of the orcs from Lord of the Rings. The one that killed the one that killed Boromir, the big one. Look at that page.
Yeah, and like as I said a second ago, he's bloody quick.
Is he?
That's the thing I respect the most about Steph is you can tell that he's an ex-pro by how
he was putting a page up on Twitter a day at one stage.
Yeah, you watch him do a sketch in the morning, and then by that night he has the fully finished thing there. Where I've been working on the same page for the last 3 days now. Like I took the one day off when we streamed pretty much all day that day. But, it takes me about 3 days, sometimes 4, depending on what it is, to do a full page, where he can do a full page in a day.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I love his style. I really do. Like he's one of the only other artists that I talk to that I'm like, okay, I respect your art skills enough for you to say whatever the hell you want to me about my stuff without me saying anything back,
I like this main character, the way like his beard and his hair, like he's got the old school like hairstyle, the comb over sort of. It's just
Oh yeah, he's got a great look. The whole thing, the beard, the twirly mustache, all of it. Thomas Moria is a fantastic idea. I can't wait to read it. But you know he's not getting his wife back at the end of this book, right? Let's be honest.
Yeah, something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's about him trying to get his wife back. He's not getting his wife back. There's going to be a number 2 and a number 3. His wife's gone. She's gone. Get used to it.
Every time you back the book, I want to back it just to see if his wife comes back. Next book, got to see if his wife comes back.
Thomas Moria 5. I swear to God, his wife is really coming back this time, you guys.
Like, I seriously want to back it just because I want to find out what the hell is going on in this page. Like, what the hell is going on there?
I love it. Like Cthulhu's, you know, like it reminds me of all of those like Lovecraftian monsters. The gross massive eyes and things. It gives me the same like the whatever the hell that giant monster thing is in Kozor with all the eyes. It's very Lovecraftian.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great. Like that's a good thing.
Like, look at the detail in this page. This old guy, like the wrinkles on his face. It looks like a photo.
It's great. Just keep adding wrinkles until he's old enough. Oh yeah, the tormented spirit of Darwin. Is that who that is? Because I've seen that picture. That looks pretty great. But I have an issue with that picture. I actually told him about that too. He's like, no, it's fine, because it's magic. But if you notice that picture of Darwin in the gorilla, his arms,
in the belly,
yeah, they should be sticking out the side of the gorilla. But like if he actually had arms, that's where they would be going. They would be just poking out the side of the gorilla. The arms don't bend that way. And he's like, oh no, because it's like magic. The arms just essentially disappear once they're inside that gorilla thing.
Whatever this thing is, it's like a werewolf cross.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. It's Man Bear Pig. But yeah, I'm all about that sort of stuff, you know, monsters and magic and cool designs and stuff wrapped up in like a heroes package. Sold.
It's Ned Kelly.
I'm surprised this one hasn't made much more though. You know, this is every time we bring this one up, Kemosabe gets onto the whole dichotomy of the lords and peasants, and we all get lost in that argument and that conversation. It's true.
Well, we were talking about this before you come in, and he was maybe it was like that he hasn't done a book or something. But it's like, well, like you look at like Seesaw and like Vestige and stuff. I think we all like now, and there's a lot more CG books, so you're gonna make less because there's a lot more.
Doing great too.
But like, I think it's just
you compare those two, it's just not. It's night and day, and that's not cool at all. Like this should be making the money that that Charlie Chaplin book made, and the Charlie Chaplin book should be on this number.
Even Shane Davis, like the Cats book, and like Shane Davis and this book, they're both good art. And I think the only difference is Shane Davis. Remember when Ethan was first announcing that there was like a DC artist coming that just had to finish up books at DC, then he's coming to CG, and you know it's And I think,
that wasn't Shane Davis though. That was Rocafort.
No, but they've been talking about it, and then Shane Davis come in, and he's been on Ethan's show a lot. He's doing his own show. His wife's on Twitter every day, and she's just a savage on Twitter.
Oh, she's the best.
Oh, she's great, isn't she? So it's like I think it's just the platform. Like I don't even think you even have to have a big YouTube channel. You just got to be known. Like people got to know your name. You got to. Whereas
I don't. When it comes to like the X Pros, right? Like I think Stefani is the exception to the rule. But when it comes to the X Pros, like Ethan and all them, like they tend to make a lot more money than anyone else anyway.
Yeah,
you know, like to be honest, Starlight Cats should have made a lot more just because Shane Davis is so famous. But you know, he made a book about space cats, so there's a lot of people that don't care about space cats, man. But
and he's worked at DC, Marvel, other publishers as Dark Horse, IDW, and Aftershock. Like, I think all it is just he hasn't been out. Like, I didn't know who he was, and all I seen a picture he posted on Twitter, someone I must have followed liked his stuff. So then I looked at it, and then I followed him, and then I started seeing the artwork. That's the only reason I found out who he was.
Well, I only ever see him when it comes to streams and things. I only ever see him in Michael's chat, and I've seen him in our chats a couple times. Yeah. But other than that, like I've never seen him anywhere.
I think that's all the difference is getting the name out there. Like, because Lee was like, maybe it's first book, people aren't so trusting with the first one. It's like, well, then you look at Cecil. That's his first book. He's made over 100, but he's been on Twitter. He's been on YouTube for a long time.
Same with Charlie's London.
People know who they are, and he's on Ethan's show. He's on a lot of shows. He's had people attacking him on Twitter for 8. So you know who they are, and I think that's all it takes. Is just you don't even have to have a big channel. You just got to get out there and
get to know everyone in CG and shit.
That's all. And I think that's the difference between like Starlight Cats and this Thomas Moyer is one was just a bigger profile in the YouTube and Twitter sphere. That's all it is.
Yeah, because I would. Yeah, there's a lot. Like we could go on about that for ages and ages and ages. But like half of it's just cop outs and no matter what we say, the point stands. Like this should have made a lot more money than it has.
Yeah. So and then again, you don't see, the only time you see him promoting it is on Twitter, and I think it's the language barrier for like the YouTube and stuff. But
yeah, well, you tell CG CG wants quality. They claim they want quality. Here's some fucking quality.
Like you look at this. He's got a signed copy for $36. I backed Kyle Ritter. I backed Kyle Ritter's book. What was his called? The Starblades. And here's what I got: a $35 book from him, and it wasn't signed. To get the Kyle Ritter signed book for him was $77 Australian. So like,
that's some shit.
He's signing it for nothing, really.
That's because Kyle's in Ethan's group, right? And Ethan has paid Kyle so much that now Kyle's forgotten how much $1 is worth. Yeah, like they all have so much money that they're just like throwing it around left and right. And I'm like, dude, like here I am, please sir, can I have 100?
But like even Ethan's Blood Honey, that's signed and it was a $25 book, so he didn't sign extra. Like your boy Zach, his books now to get signed, you got to pay extra.
We there was a discussion on how to draw about that, on how to draw comics. They were talking about whether or not you should pay to sign, and I'm pretty sure Leroy had the same conversation. That's a big thing. What does our chat think? What do you guys think? Should you charge extra, like extra $5 or something for a signature, or do you think they should all just come sign for free, or do you think they should just not sign them at all? Because there's I've seen a lot of back and forth, and there's a lot of good comments both ways, one way or the other.
Yeah, because I've never got I don't think I've got any sign from your boy Zach, but like I'd see now, like on his new ones, if you want it signed, you got to pay. It's like $100 to get it signed. Whereas like Ethan's the Blood Honey is signed, and it was he didn't charge. Whereas he might charge people for the next one, but. Yeah, like it's just like you're getting a signed book from an ex-pro from DC for $25 US, 36 Australian. So it's like.
And our postage is just as much, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I swear to God, I would move to America just for the postage money that I would save. Thousands a year.
Right. Yeah, this book should be making lots of money.
I'm like, at least it's been funded, like we've been through this multiple times the last couple of weeks. There's a lot of books that aren't getting funded. So at least this one is perfectly fine, not going anywhere. There's no problem. It's okay. If you back this, you're getting it. Whereas there's quite a few now. The list is getting longer of ones that just aren't being backed. And maybe that, not all of them, some of them did look kind of crappy, and we could just put it down to, all right, people didn't like it, but a lot of them didn't. A lot of them looked good. A lot of them deserve to be funded, and there's a lot of heartbroken writers and artists and stuff out there right now that couldn't get their dream made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
just
no,
the thought.
I think there's a lot of reasons for it. There's a lot of reasons. You know, there's
Yeah,
more
yeah.
CG
They'd be
creators
different for everyone.
now. There's more books, postage. You know, the pandemic.
Yeah, I'm struggling
you know,
to
all
get
that kind of
noticed,
stuff.
man. I'm struggling to get noticed. There's like an artist every second Twitter account in CG is an artist, and every other one is a writer. It's hard to be noticed. It's killer. I had one dude message me the other day. Not Lee. I had one guy message me the other day saying, "Oh, would you be willing to do some commissions and stuff?" I was like, "Yes, man. I'd be so happy to." Oh my god, do you know how long it's been? Yeah.
You got any others you wanna bring up?
Nah, that's my whole list. I'm done. We're coming up to midnight, man. I'm gonna need to go home, like go to bed.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm pretty home.
It's 10:30 here, so.
Yeah. So are you done? You got everything ready?
I'm pretty much done. Yeah.
All right, pretty much. You sure?
This is just a chill stream. There was nothing special with this one. So, I got about 4 more subs on the channel. That was all right.
Good stuff. We need to start streaming on my channel so I can catch up.
Just in the last week, the channel's grown like 15 subs.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty good. We're getting like an average of 5 to 8, or even sometimes 10 viewers watching now. Before we couldn't get one. So, if you want to go, we'll let you go. And
yeah.
Go to bed too. Everyone in the chat, thanks for hanging out. Just in a chill stream. Might stream again tomorrow. We'll see what everyone's doing tomorrow. And
subscribe, and then go like and subscribe to my channel.
Go to my channel. Dean's channel. Nerd is the word. Head over to that and watch his channel too. He makes good videos with the animations.
Yeah, that's fair. And Kimasabi too.
Skip. Yeah, Kimasabi return.
In fact, just go onto Twitter, search up #ComicsMATE, and go and follow and subscribe to every related tweet that you see.
Not everything's about you, Skip. Self-centered prick, yeah.
Look who's come crawling back. See you later,
Righto, guys. We'll see you next time, eh? Thanks for tuning in. I might probably drop a few. I'm writing a book, so got some character designs coming, so I might drop them in the new streams in the next week or so and see what you guys think and see what I'm going to change.
So many pouches like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, I'm going to get rid of that belt. I don't like that belt. I don't like the belt. Yeah. So, right. Later, Dean. See you all next week, and we'll hopefully do a stream tomorrow as well. So thanks, guys.